Hey everyone, it's Mike. Before we start the episode, I have a quick question to ask. Do you own a brewery? Do your customers love trivia as much as I do? Well, then you better listen up. Because Geeks Who Drink weekly trivia nights are the cornerstone of event programming for over 650 breweries and bars nationwide. Geeks Who Drink Trivia is consistently fun and low-effort way to build a community of regulars because we all need our norms, cliffs, and all that, but we want to bring more people in as well. So you can even turn that slow weeknight into the busiest night of the week. So get started with this exclusive offer for my Taproom listeners and get your first quiz night free. Go to geekswhodrink.com/taproom and enter promo code Taproom. That's geekswhodrink.com/taproom, promo code Taproom. And now, on to the episode. All right, and we're back. This is episode 73 of the Taproom Podcast, and I'm your host, Mike. Oh, man. It's recording this on a Saturday morning. It's currently 9:29 a.m. Had a long night. Came up to my sister. Shout out to my sister. Happy birthday, Kai. Love you. But yeah, came up here, drove up to her house. It was like 112 yesterday, so it's pretty hot. Drank a lot of beer, try to stay hydrated, and all that good stuff. But yeah, this is episode 73 of the Taproom Podcast with my guests today. On this episode, we're John and AJ from the Beer Belly podcast. Honestly, really fun episode. Can't say enough good things about them. And I can't wait to do something else with them again. It's going to be a ton of fun, or even just going to a brewery. Just really, really good dudes. And yeah, like I said, I can't say enough good things. We had such a good time at Noble, and it was nice to get to meet Jimmy, and, we got to, just hang out and have some beers. And, John had a good time, I know, because he had some beers that were over 7, so there we go. And yeah, and then what else? Also at the end of the episode, I did about I think it was about 15, 20 minutes maybe. Little recording, little segment with John from Whittier to talk about Highway 72. If you haven't seen the post yet on Instagram, go follow on Instagram at the Taproom Podcast. They did this like Irish Mexican style red ale, and man, it was malty, super smooth. You should definitely check it out. It's available at at all 4 locations. So the collaboration was between Whittier, Angry Horse, Brujeria, and La Bodega. So like Nathan, Adrian, Abraham, John all came together on this beer, and and the brewers got it all done, man. And it was, for me, like, it came out really, really good. He gave me a 4-pack, and yeah, I've been drinking them slowly but surely because I don't want to go through all of them so fast. But no, they're really good. So definitely check them out. And it's cool because it being Highway 72. Referring to Whittier Boulevard, so I think that's pretty awesome. So definitely check it out if you get the chance. And yeah, I did get a beer. This is going to be a short intro, but yeah, I did get a beer. So anytime I'm up here, I try to find one from Crown Wolf because they have such great beer. And this one's a collab with Crown Wolf and Central Coast Brewing. It's a West Coast IPA coming in at 6.5%. And it's called Symbiotic Psychosis. Let's crack her open, eh? See if we can get a nice good crack in the mic there. Oh yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. Let's go in here for a drink. And also, I love it. I love Crown Wolf because they always put the hops that they use, like the boil hop and then the dry hop. So it's Idaho 7, Alora, Lotus Salvo in the boil. The dry hop was Revolution Blend. I'm going to say this is Alani and Amarillo CGX. So let's jump on in. Water's fine. Oh, yeah. That'll get you there. That'll do it. I'm for it. Pretty dang solid. I have a hazy from there. I should have had the hazy too, but I say it's only 9:30 in the morning. But yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into the episode with John and AJ. Make sure you follow them at Beer Belly Pod. Man, like I said, can't say enough good things. Hope you guys laugh a ton because this was a blast. All right. So stay tuned for the segment with John after the interview. Thanks. All right, guys, we're back in the tap room. Actually, we're in the back office at Noble Ale Works, and I have a couple of very special guests on today. AJ and John from the Beer Belly podcast. What's going on, fellas?
Yo, how's it going?
Yeah,
going pretty good. Yeah,
Great to be here. Excited.
Yeah, glad we got to make this happen. I mean, I know we talked a little bit about doing it. I'm glad we got to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I got a beer, so
there you go.
And it's an IPA, which I love.
Yeah, and is it above 5.2%, 5.4%?
Mine actually is this time.
I know when you bust out the hef or whatever, and he was just like, "Whoa." He was like trying to make you feel so bad about
it. 7.6 is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's all right.
Yeah. If it's not a triple, it's not.
It's not triple. If it's not gonna make you a little drunk by the time you're done, is it even a beer?
It depends on how many you have.
Exactly. Yeah. Pants are not at your socks by the time you're walking out the brewery. Leave.
Yeah, there you go. Well, cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Absolutely, cheers.
This is great.
Couldn't ask for a better day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a nice day in Orange County. We get to hang out, have a couple brewskis, and one thing I always love to, I mean, I'm sure you guys know, but the one I always love to ask, like, how it all started for you guys. Because, I mean, you guys are at 139?
132 this week.
Enough.
Yeah. No, you're on it. Thank you. We'll take the extra credit, though.
Yeah, I'll take that. 139.
Sure. As far as it all started, I mean, to go back in time once before, I mean, I met this gentleman back in like 2008, late 2008, I would say. Yeah. We were both working at a department store. Maybe we'll leave out the name for now. But I was a team trainer a few months in, and when that happened, this bloke comes around, and I'm just wondering, like, oh, who is this guy? I'm in charge of training him. Let's get to know this dude a little bit.
Training.
So yeah.
Training.
It's a very strong word for what it actually entailed. But honestly, we at the time, Street Fighter 4 was brand new. And we're both not like the most outgoing dudes. We're kind of a little, not standoffish, but shy at times, depending on the individual. Not always easy for us to warm up to other people. But for some reason, I think that similar simpatico kind of worked out to where we started talking video games, and we realized we're both like big fans of Blink-182 at the time.
There it is.
As well. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're like, hey, you want to hang out? Let's do
you want to
this.
Spend the night?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Are we having a sleepover?
I'm sure we've told the story on the show in an earlier episode, but so the first time I ever spent the night at this guy's house after a long night of stupid drinking, of course.
Happens.
Of course, as it does. I wake up around maybe, I don't know, 5 a.m. in a buzz blur, of course, still the next morning. And I feel this giant weight on my side around my hip area. And I'm like, why is it so warm in here? This is nice. And I look over and it's this woolly mammoth's leg wrapped around my torso. I'm like, well, okay, I guess this is our friendship now.
I guess we're cuddling.
That's what bonded us. I always like to say that if he didn't want it, if he didn't like it, he would have woke me up.
Exactly.
But he went right back to bed. You felt safe.
Yeah.
Safest you've ever been?
Pretty darn I would say like an 11 out of 10. I think you have a point there.
Yeah. It's like a mama cub nestled into his ear.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Yeah. So that was the start of, I guess, Beer Belly before the Beer Belly, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we started to get into music.
Yeah.
So we were in a band for a little bit. Well, we created a band.
Yeah.
Very successful, unsuccessful band.
As we like to call it. Similar to our podcast.
Yeah. So you're really successful at being unsuccessful.
Yes. There it is. Yes.
Boom. We found the slogan.
We did that for a few years, right? Like 3 to 5?
Yeah, 3 to probably like good like 5 years or so. Really fun. You can still probably find the account on Instagram.
Okay.
At Ivory Gold Music.
If you will. Is that still there?
Oh,
I blocked that account.
Was it like pop punk or what were you guys doing?
Kind of like a pop punk acoustic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
inspired by certain bands, like you could say Blink or a little bit, and bands like This Wildlife Out There. Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
I like it.
So we did that. Then, adulting kind of stepped in and we stopped doing music.
Mm-hmm.
Then, God, maybe 6-7 months later, we're like, let's do a podcast.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I mean, honestly, I would say for a few years, it's something that we were kicking around. Whenever we'd hang out, we would always kind of bring it up in conversation randomly. It'd be one of us that would be like, we should probably do a craft beer podcast one of these days. And we're like, oh yeah. And we'd always be super enthusiastic about it. But, it's one of those things that sounds like fun, but just never quite get around to. And then I remember the day. It was like Thanksgiving 2019.
Oh, wow.
And Thanksgiving Day, and I was already at my family's house having a good time. John with his family, and I get a text from him saying, "Sir, I would love it if we started a craft beer podcast together." And I was like, "We've been talking about it for a long time, but like, fuck yeah, let's. Can we cuss on this show?"
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Then heck yes,
yeah.
let's do it.
What time did you get that message? Do you remember? Was it in the night?
I would say it was around 7 p.m. to where there was enough time to already catch a good buzz because I had
Okay, I was gonna say I
end.
must have been pretty buzzed if I
There
sent
you
you
go.
that.
Oh no, most definitely. Some heart emojis were thrown to each other, kissy face emojis later. Next thing you know, by June of 2020, we had started it. And so it was about 7 months or so later, the show began. And it's been that way ever since. So like June, we're like 2 weeks away from our 4-year anniversary.
That's awesome, man.
Mhm.
Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's been a hell of a journey. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And to me, and that's like the best part. Like sometimes when you, like you said, you kick around an idea and you're like, what am I going to do? Because before this, or even before like Taps and Tailgates, I wanted to start a wrestling podcast. Just a joke, but drink and talk about wrestling.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so it would have been craft beer and just getting shitty and talk with your buddy about wrestling. But then
Of course.
that never happened. My brother started one. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to jump onto yours. And that was it. And then I eventually created this, the Taproom. So
Hell yeah.
it's crazy how things fucking just play out or work out for that matter.
100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate with everything that went on. It's definitely been a slow build for us. We've never had like quite like giant spikes in popularity or like downloads and stuff like that. But one thing we do appreciate that I've always tried to keep in mind personally is the longer you do something, and to anyone out there that's like wondering, should I go about doing this? Should I really make it an endeavor and invest my time in it? I mean, obviously it's your call at the end of the day, but if you feel like it's something you keep coming back to, why not just try it? See how you like it. If it works and if there's synergy there, by all means, me and this dumb fuck, we've hung out week after week for the past 16 years
man.
more or less
Getting
now.
dumber and dumber.
Yeah. Hey.
This doesn't help the beer. But that being said, I mean, again, 4 years almost in now, and we have nice folks like yourself that have reached out to us. Greg Nagel from OC Beer Blog, OG Chew Your Beer. We were just talking about that fine gentleman. Hello, fella.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Shout out to you, baby. So it's like Maggie Moonshine 82 and stuff like that. So where it's like we have slowly but surely been able to build this community of people that are enthusiastic about what we do. And the support is super huge. So I mean, for you to have time to put us on your show, it's something that we're greatly appreciative of. So going back to my point earlier is just that if you're listening and you're like wondering, should I go about doing this? As long as you're willing to put in the time, eventually, granted there's a minuscule amount of quality in there, and enthusiasm, it may just catch on with the people that you never expected to be able to have the opportunity of meeting, and you never know what might come of that from there, but at the end of the day, one thing that John and I have always come back to as well is, despite levels of however you want to quantify success, at the end of the day as well, it's more about just going for it. And at the end of the day, if we have fun and it's just an excuse for two best friends or worst enemies, if you will,
there you go,
to get together on a weekly basis, then why the hell not?
And I think that's what's kind of done it for me all these years of doing Beer Valley. Like AJ said, it was a bit of a grind, still kind of is, but
hell yeah,
it's fun. And that's what kind of keeps me coming every single time.
Yeah.
Is being able to drink with my best friend over Zoom for 30 to an hour.
Yeah.
Getting really dumb. You're not my best friend, by the way. Yeah. I'm talking about my mic, my computer.
Of course.
My computer.
Yeah. He's just rubbing the mic.
Yeah.
That is so great.
He's like, oh yeah.
AJ will stop talking right now. It's okay. But that's what always made Beer Valley worth it to me, is just hanging out with my friend, shooting the shit. And, just us being ourselves.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
And if it motivates one person to get out there and, like you're saying, like just to try something that, they're maybe on the fence about, because you never know. I mean, it may lead to something freaking fantastic. But I just feel like some people can be so afraid of taking that leap. And sometimes it takes a drunk text like, we need to have a podcast.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I think that's the thing that kind of helped us, is like night after night. Like I said, when we met at our original job back in the day, we would just hang out after work sometimes. Like, hey, I'm 21. You're 20.
I'm 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to underage drink.
Yeah. Let's rock this bitch.
Let's influence an almost not quite minor anymore, but not legally able to drink. Let's do this.
Play some Street Fighter. Drink. What were we drinking? UV? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I was just thinking about this yesterday. So back in those days, before craft beer had entered our lives, we were just trying to get drunk on a budget. So biggest, cheapest was one of the mottos for sure. And at the time, UV vodka was huge. It's flavored vodka.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
There's a whole rainbow of flavor that you can go from.
It's like
and exactly 100%. And it worked. So anyway, so we would do that. And we'd play some video games. We'll get into that a little later if anything. But we'd write music together. And ultimately, at the end of the day, one thing we would find ourselves doing is sometimes we'd put down the controller or the fight stick or whatever, and we'd end up just having these stupid, deep, fun conversations that ended up kind of building the bond that where it was like, it just made sense to have a show together. And before we started recording, we were referencing an earlier podcast we used to have, shout out to SD Geek Podcast, where we covered like movies and gaming TV shows, stuff like that. That was really fun for a few years as well. The thing is, we always found ourselves, John and I, bringing beer to in-person episodes.
Yeah.
We started that back in like 2016, 2017. So remote podcasts weren't really popular back then. It was more of just coming in person. There was no COVID or anything like that. So nothing hindering something like that. So we'd always find ourselves bringing a Pliny the Elder or some random IPA to the show, and occasionally a Pliny the Younger. John would supply as well on rare occasion.
I don't know why I shared those with you guys.
You definitely shouldn't have.
Oh, you gave one to Goofy. I saw the picture.
Follow us on Instagram.
Beer Belly Pod.
Nice. We didn't have to plug it this time.
Yeah. I got you.
We made it.
The son of a bitch did it. I quote movies all the time.
No, please do keep them coming, baby.
Yeah.
But just the banter that we naturally have with one another, it only made sense. And granted, I mean, that doesn't speak to the lack of quality of the show. That still very much is us, but at the same time, somehow, some way, it kind of works.
Yeah.
We semi know what we're doing, if you will.
Yeah, our slogan, definitely. AJ and I are exactly the same off the podcast. If you were to just hear our conversations, I'm constantly being mean to him, aka loving him.
Love it.
And he's always loving me. Some people like to say that he's Captain America and I'm Winter Soldier, because he loves me a little bit more than I love him.
Okay.
More than we're willing to accept and admit.
And even though I still abuse you come back.
Well, you're still my wife/husband/wife.
I mean, a lot of times I hear you call him an acquaintance. So.
I think that's
Our knees might touch every once in a while in the studio, but otherwise,
I wipe it down right after.
Sandy rag, everything.
I'm only friends with him because of the pod.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
Make one thing damn straight, you son of a bitch.
No, honestly, man, like I love the show because just like your guys, like the rapport, the camaraderie, the stuff, like the banter that you guys have. To me, I mean, that's what what makes like that kind of thing when you can hang out with your buddy, like you said, John. You get to hang out with your buddy or acquaintance for a half hour, an hour, and have a couple beers. Like, what's better than that? And you make it like it's almost like an appointment. You make it a point to spend time with your friend and talk craft beer. So what's better than that?
Absolutely. And that's the thing. When we first started the show, the idea, like we talked about earlier, was cover craft beer. And over the course of doing this for now 4 years, one of our, I guess, like taglines, if you will, is, a little bit of beer critique, a lot of it of two friends getting tossed. And I think we've definitely held true to that.
Yeah.
Because the focus was always craft beer, but it steadily but surely definitely has become John and AJ being John and AJ with a little bit of beer critique in there, just a little bit of focus.
You listen to the first 3 episodes and like these guys
are on it.
They're doing it. And you get to episode 4 and it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Off the rails. Exactly. Trains left the station and it's now crashed and burned. Okay, great.
Love it.
Part of the fun.
So you guys started off with UV vodka.
Yes.
But so when did the craft beer thing happen? Like when was it like a brewery you went to, or was it just you just so happened to go to a liquor store and they had something, or what was it for you guys?
Well, we were drinking UV because beer just wasn't for us at the time.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the first craft beer you can say I had was, God, what was it called? You know it.
Sierra Nevada
Sierra
Pale
Nevada.
Ale.
Yes, that's how well AJ knows me.
Yeah.
I was
There
with
you
I was with my dad. We were in Vegas, and he bought it for me, and I was like, "This is a good beer." Okay. And I think at that point, AJ was already more into beer than I was.
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly, right?
Mhm.
And we lived close to a liquor store that sold craft beers when craft beers weren't really a thing at the time.
Yeah.
Definitely had not yet boomed to obviously what it is today,
Yeah.
where there's podcasts centralized around it, know? But I think that was one, to interrupt for a moment, that was one cool thing about us kind of coming together when it came down to beer was we both realized a couple years after having done so, separately having Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, he with his dad, myself with my dad. It was like my 21st birthday. He bought me a picture of it, and I was like, "Oh my god, what is this? This is am I getting cottonmouth right now?
Yeah, this is dank.
I'd have a bowl of something good. Jesus Christ, Wheaties." And so I had that, and I was like, "Wow!" And I wasn't ready for the second pour, but it was my 21st birthday. Why not go for it? So that was
Balls
fun.
to the wall.
Yeah, and then I found out later that John had got a similar experience, and ever since then, we kind of steadily but surely.
Yeah, it definitely went off the rails. We just kept drinking and drinking.
What I would say, the next big thing that really stood out to us was probably Stone Brewing Ruination, the original.
Okay, the original Ruination
back in the day. Yes, 100%. Like a big old Imperial IPA boy. I think it was categorized as an Imperial, maybe, if not at least a double at the time. And then
I thought it was a triple.
Because
then they started doing double.
Remember, John only drinks triple.
It's exclusively triple.
Yeah.
This isn't a triple?
Yeah.
What I'm drinking right now?
What do you mean, you son of a bitch?
I'm leaving the pod.
Yeah. I'm out.
We're done.
Yeah, it was triple.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Then, we definitely did that. And then at Stone, we were huge on. I think they were like, I don't know. I would have to say, even though we've definitely over the years have acquired a more broad taste and enjoy going to different breweries, as far as starting things off, Stone Brewing was huge for us because we started getting the Enjoy buys back in the day when they released the Enjoy Afters also.
Yeah.
I miss those.
I miss all the collabs they would do. We would go to the liquor store and there was always a new collab that they have. And it was like, I'm going to get this.
Right.
I'm getting this right now.
Do you guys remember, I think it was called Pataskala? It was like a red one.
Oh, I don't know.
There was a Stone one. There was my brother worked for Stone, so he would be like, he would get breakage.
Nice.
And and I would be like, all right, well, here we go. I'm about to drink all of them.
The bottle cap had a scratch on
Oh,
it.
yeah. Like, oh, whoops, this palate fell over a little bit.
Oh, darn.
Oh,
It's
no.
delicious.
Yeah.
Best breakage
Oh,
ever.
even the Delicious IPA back in the day from Stone was great before they,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Still, I mean, I'll still drink Stone.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. We still look forward to our Enjoy buys on a quarterly basis and stuff like
Enjoy
that.
by I still enjoy FML. It's one of their lower end in terms of price, and I love FML.
Easy go-to. You go to a grocery store nowadays, it's there. It's an old
2 for
reliable.
$6. I'm going to get both. I'm going to forget the night.
It's like, hey, he's going to clear that shelf.
They sell them in a 6-pack now?
Yeah.
Right. Definitely more mainstream nowadays, but something that you can always kind of depend on for a little bit of flavor there.
Oh, yeah.
Again, maybe some acquisitions happen down the line, but at the same time, when you go to the breweries, as far as Stone goes, I still end up always having a good time, whether it's a tap tasting room or a full-on brewery itself.
Oh, yeah, like the World Bistro, like there you go. It was a cool spot. That's I mean, and I've said it on the show a million times, so people are probably sick and tired of hearing it, but I don't care. Was when I tried Dogfish Head off their menu, and I was like, man, like this is what beer could be. Like it's not just because I mean the first one I ever had was a double bastard, and I was like, my palate was not ready for that, not even a little bit.
I remember the first time I had an angry, I'm sorry, what was it called? Not the bastard, the arrogant bastard.
Yeah, arrogant bastard.
Back in the day. That was like, again, I think that was one of the first beers that put craft beer in the limelight, like made it a household name, Stone Brewing, that is. And I remember it was several years ago. There's a band that John and I loved a lot called Breathe Carolina, kind of like an electro hardcore band and stuff like that. And they had a free show over in LA at the Troubadour. And so myself and some friends, there was a Pavilions down the street. So I was like, hey, let's go inside. Let's grab some drinks, whatever. I'll buy us some alcohol. And I saw the Arrogant Bastard. And I was like, you know what? I've been hearing about this for like a year. Let me just try it. And then by the time we bought it, we had like 15 minutes until the doors opened. So I was like, shit, I got to chug this real quick. Was not ready. I did not know what I was doing at that point. I was like, oh my God.
We found AJ in the back.
Made it through the show. was able to find my car that got towed out like on the outskirts of
no.
Beverly Hills later on that night. But that's for another time.
Oh man,
I wasn't there.
Not that.
No.
No.
Yeah.
It was for the best. Well, it was a
Yeah.
great show, but still.
John, like you would have walked out and said like, "Hey, John, where's my car?" I'd be like, "Figure it out."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't fucking know.
I'll be here chilling.
I'm gonna
in
get
the
another beer.
meantime.
You're paying, by the way.
Fair enough.
No, man. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not trying to sound like a homer or anything like
No.
that, but I truly like just listen to you guys, like, just pop off on each other and stuff like that. To me, that's how me and my buddies are.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, that's like, like you fucking hang out with your best friend, fucking drink beer, like what the fuck,
Shoot the shit.
what's better than that?
Yeah.
100%. If I'm not calling this guy a fucking idiot, we're not having that good of a time yet.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Well, and I had grace. Okay, AJ's a little drunk now. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, now tops are off. Let's go.
Well, now I want to get called a fucking idiot. So maybe by the end of the show, I'll get called a fucking idiot.
The more often we can do stuff like this or just meet at a brewery, it's bound to happen,
Yeah.
my sir.
Well, it's
For
kind of
sure.
like when they say when John says drunk John did that. You have to talk
Different
to him.
person.
Oh,
Yeah, different person.
Take it
He's
up
like,
with
so
him.
Way
don't come
different
at
person.
sober John with that.
No, exactly. Chad changed name tags real
Yeah.
quick.
My wife loves to hear this. That was sober. That was drunk John, not sober John. Different
Yeah.
John. Sorry.
Yeah.
She loves to hear that.
Yeah.
You want to speak to him? We can get him there.
You can bring him in the room if you want, baby.
We'll figure it out.
Get a guest appearance right quick.
I fucking love it. So you guys mentioned like video games like Street Fighter. Did you guys ever play like Marvel vs. Capcom?
Whew, that's funny you bring that up. Why don't you take this away, my friend?
Yeah, okay, because I want to hear it, but I also want to hear who you would use in the game if you did play.
By all means. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Which Marvel vs. Capcom are you going to talk about first?
I know, right?
Yeah, say one or two. Or,
Well, part 2 was definitely what got me into
that's the best one.
Marvel vs. Capcom series since I was a kid, basically. But it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3 where we became very competitive. We started going to tournaments for it.
Love
we did
it.
terribly. Successfully unsuccessful.
World tournaments where it's like people from Japan and everywhere outside of the nation would be there. So it's pretty sick. Evo over in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and we would do that yearly. We did that for a good
10 years.
10? God,
10
10
years.
years? Wow.
In a
So
row.
we would go rent out a room for 5, 6, 7 days and just grind out Marvel vs. Capcom 3 specifically. Just
Damn.
all day, all night. AJ always got his ass kicked. He was terrible at the game.
oh.
He was more of a cheerleader.
Yeah,
gotcha,
most
okay.
definitely.
Still is.
Got the pom-poms in my trunk.
So he's like Sakura out there?
What's that?
She's like Sakura out
Oh,
there?
and Marvel too? Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. If that's probably a compliment, really.
Yeah, it really is.
Probably more of like a
fire.
Yes. More of a BB hood, a soft
Yeah.
BB hood. Actually,
Yeah.
she's pretty sick, though, I got to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Hey, if you hit that combo.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will, specifically on
There you
AJ.
Yes. Iron Man Infinite, for sure.
Oh yeah, to this day. But yeah, we actually still play Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's been 14 years since that game came out.
Something like that.
I think mainly I play it. I do have another friend that we're still very competitive about. We actually were playing last night
I love it.
for a few hours.
Hell
And it's to the point that we don't even talk. We just sit there.
Yeah.
Somebody loses, somebody makes a quick remark, and we just rematch it all
Like,
day.
go fuck yourself. We're playing
Yeah.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Hold that shit.
Yeah.
But yes, we absolutely love. Yes, I'm speaking for you, AJ.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom series in general. Infinite, 1, 2, 3. They're all amazing.
Yeah. I think 2 is my favorite.
Oh, for sure.
It's fun.
It's got a class. I mean, the soundtrack alone
Oh,
is freaking
yeah.
amazing. I was just listening to an Instagram reel earlier that had it playing. It's like
that.
the classic Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
Robin had said to the music. It's just like, can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, that's how I determine if I'm at a good arcade or a bad arcade. Do they got Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Nope. I'm leaving.
Right.
Dude, I used to get quarters from my grandpa, and we would walk. Me and my cousins, we would walk to the fucking laundromat because I was the closest thing we can get to that was in walking distance to be able to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Sick.
It's the best.
That's super cool. I remember the old school, like in the early 90s side-scrolling X-Men arcade game. And there was like a round table pizza from my
Fucking phenomenal.
grandparents' house. My grandpa would drive me in his old Lincoln over there.
Yeah.
I'd be like 3 or 4 years old and be like, I can do this after I have like a bar stool to stand on to reach the
Yeah.
screen. Good memories like that for sure at the arcade.
You still can't do it.
I still can't reach the
To this
screen.
day, you can't. No.
Still struggling tippy toes, baby.
Twinkle, twinkle, motherfucker.
But honestly, Beer Belly probably would not even be a thing if it wasn't for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I love it.
Like hours. I would love to be able to have counted the hours that we've played. Because again, a lot of it was about being competitive, having fun,
Yeah.
playing this video game together. But it was also just an excuse for us to get together and have a fun, stupid night at the same time.
We'd meet up at 10, 11 o'clock, go to the liquor store, buy us a Stone of some sort, two big bottles, sit down and play until 4 or 5 a.m., just pounding the beer, playing the games.
Sometimes a nice tall bottle of like Barefoot wine. Be like, what do you feel like? Cabernet Sauvignon?
Yeah.
What are we gonna
Liquor
get
stores
after that?
closed. 7-Eleven still open.
Food for less? Is that still a thing? Let's go.
Was it Boondock Saints? He's like, we're like 7-Eleven. We're not always doing business, but we're always open.
It's a lot like Beer Belly. Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
So what's your team in Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I would usually go with Hulk,
Nice.
War Machine, and it would kind of vary. Sometimes it'd be Spider-Man or Gambit.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Two fun
Sometimes
characters.
Wolverine too, but it was like when you hit that combo, like the fucking the beam cannon, and Hulk was like bringing down the heavens. It's like Hulk, the Ultimate Warrior, bringing down the heavens with the meteor. Like if you hit all that combo at one time, it was like game the fuck over. I don't care how much health you have, you're dead.
That's freaking tight. For Marvel 2 myself, it would definitely vary. I would always just be team random and stuff like that. Just characters I thought would look cool.
Jin.
Oh, Jin.
Jin was one of my boys.
Guy who likes to get naked.
I forgot about Jin.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like doing his best Michael Jackson.
Brodia! Love that character.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, not at all.
Jin popped in my head.
No,
and I was like, I had to say it.
I'm glad you brought it up for sure. I like Hayato as well. Freaking
Hayato,
anime lightsaber boy. It was freaking amazing. How about yourself, sir?
I mean, am I being cheap or am I playing for fun? Be cheap.
Go for the dirt.
I'm
and then you can do
definitely-
fun later.
Definitely picking Sentinel, Cyclops, and most likely Magneto.
Okay.
That's like an OP team
All right. So you're just going straight up X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
all the time.
Bastard X-Men. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I would love to see you pick up Storm in that game, though,
Yeah.
because she's freaking
I would
balls
play
to the
her.
walls crazy.
I would
Yeah.
play her too.
Really?
You don't remember?
It didn't stand out.
Oh, goddamn. Goddamn.
He's like, it wasn't good enough for it to stand out. It's pretty much what AJ said.
Right. I don't remember the punishment that bad at the time.
Until
And
Punisher walked in and started blasting.
My ass has the bruises of memory, so don't worry. I was there, but I don't remember Storm being the one to deal it as often,
Okay.
I would say. But then you have your fun team, though, too, which is actually kind of sick nowadays.
Which one would it be? I don't even remember.
I would say probably over the past 5 years, you've adopted Guile a little bit in your team.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And Ken, maybe? Am I wrong about that?
Akuma.
There you
That's
go.
what nowadays you'll probably see
Team
me
Street
pick
Fighter?
Iron Man,
Yes.
Gaio, and Akuma, I would say.
Okay.
Right. Super fun to watch, actually.
They're
Just-
not as high execution.
Do you have team names for your teams?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, or you can speak for yourself, but there's one note I have.
When I started playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, again, when I was like 11, I would pick Cable, Iron Man, and War Machine, and I used to call them Team Omega. So I did have a name for them.
Sick.
Yeah.
I remember, though, in at least Marvel 3, eventually you had
I did?
your team that you have in Marvel 3, which is what, Magneto on point, Dr. Doom, and Sentinel
Yeah.
as your anchor character,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, Magneto and Doom have serious potential. They're like high top tier in that game easily, especially probably Doom is like the bread and butter of anyone that has them on their team.
It's like bacon, makes everything better.
Amen, baby.
When you're right.
And then Magneto's freaking insane, especially with X Factor, which is like a huge comeback mechanic in the game, and Aggressor. But at the same time, Sentinel, which one was the what was the nickname for one of the costume colors you had?
I don't remember. Mango Sentinel?
There's Mango Sentinel. That
Did
one's
you say
obvious.
Mango Sentinel?
Mango. He has like a mango color to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to tell me. I don't remember.
I think it was Magneto probably, or one of your characters has like a hint of pink to the costume.
Oh, that's Infinite. Sex Pink?
There's Sex Pink,
Pink,
which
alright.
is Chun-Li and Ultron.
Ultron, yeah.
No,
And
but
you're Victoria's Secret.
we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Female listeners, forgive our immaturity as guys. We're just stupid dudes. Forgive us. But there was one character. So two of his characters on the team in Marvel 3 are white in costume, while the other one has like a hue of pink and red to it, which he would call the period of the team.
Oh, Doctor
That's all.
Strange.
Dr.
I was thinking Doctor Strange.
Strange.
Yes,
I'm
and I think
sorry.
I'm red. White, red. And I'd say,
Yeah. So, again, ladies, forgive us. We're stupid
dude.
guys.
The reason why I asked you that question, because when my cousin Jimmy, who I've been playing that game with since I was, 8 years old,
Mhm.
he had his own team called Bad Guys Wear Capes.
Mhm.
So it was
Nice.
Magneto. Oh gosh, from Street Fighter.
Bison?
Who?
Bison?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bison and Oh gosh, who was the third one? He's gonna be so mad at me.
What did he look like? What color hair?
No, I had it in my head and then it's gone. I'm leaving this all in. So.
It's all yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Leave it, baby.
He's screaming at you right now.
You've only had one beer.
Yeah. No, I got
for
here
yourself.
At 12. So.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Speak for
Oh,
yourself.
So no, I've been here for a bit.
It's our fault. We were late. Sorry.
Oh no, you guys were right on time. But okay, so video games, I'm kind of curious about.
Please.
Is like, do you guys have like your top 5, like of all time? Maybe what if we go console?
Okay.
Ooh.
Console video games.
Okay.
Sorry, I threw a curveball.
No,
Yeah,
Video
games.
I was
Not at all.
I
Not at
already
all.
had the list. Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2,
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3. No, AJ
true.
reached out to me. He's like, hey, make sure you know your top 5 games. Because I wasn't looking at my phone. I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I was like, well, I got a top 1.
Yeah.
but I thought about it for a while. So Mega Man.
Okay.
I love the Mega Man series as a whole. The originals, the X, even NT Network, something along those lines.
Battle Network.
Yeah. Old school Mario games.
Okay.
Super Mario World, Mario 3 specifically.
Yeah.
Got 64. I
Yeah.
love 64
Yeah,
too.
of course.
Do you like Mega Man 64? It was called Mega Man Legends on the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
It was Mega Man 64 on
The 3D boy.
I
That's
didn't
right.
play that one a lot. T-Bone was put in that game for the first time.
Oh, that's
I didn't play it often, so I can't talk ill or great of it.
Okay. Either way.
That it was an RPG too, right?
Yeah,
Something like that?
It was like an adventure
well,
game.
It was like almost like a Zelda kind of, or like a Quest 64. In a
Okay.
way.
I
There you
avoid
go.
those games. Anything that makes me sit through a story.
Oh,
Probably
dude,
not.
that's my wheelhouse, dude.
I know he skips through them.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
God.
there's heartfelt moments.
Wait,
here.
I can't hit
dude.
pause, skip. I'm out. I'm out.
I love it.
I can't believe
I
it.
fucking love it.
What, were you like that with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories also? Because that's kind of a story-driven game, actually. Sorry to throw a curveball.
That-
Oh no, Kingdom Hearts.
GBA, right? That's where it
Yes.
first came out.
First,
I had a broken ankle. I had time, so I played it.
Yeah.
you played you didn't skip the story. I don't know if you could.
I don't know if I could, but
I
I,
guess you
probably
probably spammed
ignored
through
it.
the-
Yeah,
through the text.
Oh, 100%. If I could, I would.
Donald's upset about something. God damn
I
it,
don't
Goofy,
care. No.
and why Sora?
It's
I
What's
just
going
want
on?
to kill some
Goof.
guys.
Exactly. That's a good list, though. I figured you would say something like that. I thought maybe
fine.
you would go with like Shining Force on like the
God,
Sega
I forgot about Shining
or
Force.
something like that. Yeah,
I guess I'm kind of an old school gamer if it's not Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
that's as contemporary as you get for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I still bust out my AV cables with Space Invaders.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
I will
Nothing
play
wrong
that
with
if it's in an arcade.
Oh, there's nothing wrong
25
with
cents? Oh, you can go there first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see. For myself, as far as console games go, again, like I mentioned, if it weren't for Marvel versus Capcom 3,
Yeah.
we probably wouldn't even be here in this room together. So at least for the memories alone, I gotta give that an honorable mention. But along with that, Shadow of the Colossus PS2,
Fucking classic.
crazy game. Like it
Fucking-
was just
Way ahead of its time.
way ahead of its time. So such an original idea, concept where it's just nothing but boss battles, and it's certainly not a boss rush mode. There is a portion of the game where you can do that, but the journey of learning how to find these different beasts that you have to then overcome, and then not only trying to find them, but then once you do, how to actually go about trying to defeat them is a whole other
How am I gonna
situation.
take down this big motherfucker?
Exactly. It's something that I remember the first time I encountered the number one Colossus, and I was like, "Oh my god! All right, let's do this." And it's an experience that I'll never forget. The music still lives in my head to this day.
Oh yeah.
Calling out to the horse, "Agro!" will always be
I
there
fucking love that.
and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's a game that will always be with me. I bought the re-release on PS3, which was in 3D, which we got to play on his dad's 3D TV back in the day.
That was a fun time.
Which was crazy. And then I bought the PS4 version later on. And then Kingdom Hearts 2, I referenced
Oh,
Kingdom Hearts earlier.
fantastic.
Heart tearjerker at the very end. It's like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And then now it's like, I wish I was more enthused about Kingdom Hearts. I'm still excited for whenever 4 happens to come about, but until then, I'm patient. I never unfortunately beat Kingdom Hearts 3. It just it took too much time.
It was a drag.
Was it?
And I love those games.
Oh wow.
But
Okay.
it was a drag.
It was it. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to like the Toy Story world. Sorry if I'm boring anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, but
it's my show. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
hey,
I mean, I
fucking
tuned
man,
out.
baby.
I heard Kingdom Hearts. I tuned out.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
He was just like, He's all, he's all, let me know when we're talking about Marvel's Capcom.
Exactly.
Can I skip this conversation?
He's all, tell me when Omega Red's gonna pop in here and fucking do his special. That was one of my other guys on the arcade. Omega Red.
Nice.
Great character.
There we go. There we go. Along with that, I would have to say Halo. The Halo series is crazy.
Halo 3, yeah. I forgot to put that on my list. Halo 3.
Halo 3
I
and 4 campaigns. I mean, every campaign I think they do an amazing job with. I mean, to varying degrees. I know there's different popularity. I should say there's different love for different games, and some people have things to say about others, and that, they're old now. It's an aged franchise, but maybe I've just aged with it conveniently enough.
It's a good fucking game.
Yeah. Amen, brother. And I feel like they always up the ante in certain ways every time. My favorite multiplayer version of the series this might be controversial a little bit to people that are actually into Halo, but Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer was my favorite. It's definitely the most fast-paced multiplayer that I've ever played of Halo, and I freaking loved it. It's crazy. I think it's a perfect marriage of what the speed that and I guess intensity that Call of Duty brings, but also with the Halo formula along with that, which just makes it a perfect marriage, in my opinion, as far as what you get multiplayer wise.
That marriage is wrong. It's Halo 3. You should have said Halo 3.
That marriage is divorced.
Specifically Halo 3.
A lot of people say Halo 3.
Yeah. Oh, respectfully, for sure. And then
hey, teach his own though.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Pokemon franchise I've been a part of since I was like just a kid. I remember waking up every morning before school and being like, "Oh my god, what's Meowth up to today?"
Yeah.
And so Alpha Sapphire, which was like a re-release like 10 years ago or so, is probably my favorite entry ever since. Yeah. So if you're a big Kyogre fan, shout out to my boys and girls out there. Yo.
Love it.
But yeah, that's got to be the top 5, I think, for me.
That's
personally,
awesome, man. Like, and I'm always like, I'm adventure driven. Like anything open world and you, because you and I, when we talked a bit, AJ, you were talking about you're like, oh, there was a game that I mentioned on the show, but I wasn't sure which one it was.
Oh, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Okay,
yeah.
So I wasn't sure if that.
Yeah,
if
there you go.
I
All roads lead to Marvel.
But no, for me, because I just love the adventure games. So like,
please.
Gosh. Man, I mean, I'll give you my top 2 because it's a loaded question for me.
No, sure, certainly.
But probably number 1 is Uncharted 4.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Because I love the Nathan Drake stuff. Like, I love that story driven, but also like you talked about the music earlier in the games, and you hear certain, like you're at a certain part in the adventure or the game, and it just hits you a certain way. That game, like you son of a bitch. But Zelda too, like Ocarina of Time.
Hell yeah. Classic.
Like those two are like 1A, 1B.
Nice.
And they're both right there for me. Like I could play those games today, and Tsushima is probably Ghost of Tsushima.
Wow. Oh, it's more contemporary than for sure. Nice.
Like I love like anything like that. To me, like you get to, and when you whistle dirtily, it sounded like how the guy whistles, whistles to his horse in the game.
Oh, really?
I was like, all right. I was like, oh gosh.
I'm getting it.
I was like, oh, and the horse's name is Sora.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow, that's crazy.
It all comes back.
There you go.
Freaking sucker punch those sons of bitch.
I know, right? How was the story for Ghost of Tsushima?
Man, it was like from beginning to end, just enthralling. Like I was fully invested. One of my horse died. Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm not playing it.
You know what? I'm out of end the show. Oh, The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2.
Oh, sure.
That would round out my top 5.
Nice. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay. I respect it. A lot of contemporary picks. I appreciate that you do have nostalgia for some things, but at the same time, objectively, you appreciate some recent stuff that you've played, which is, I think it just goes to show like how well the gaming industry and the making of games has matured over the years.
It's so cinematic now.
Sure.
And I'm such a movie guy that when I post shit, my bad, I'm leaving it in.
As you should.
Yeah. But you can kind of you get enthralled with these characters and you get like fully invested. And even in, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched The Last of Us played the game or watched the show, Joel dies in the second season in game 2. So sorry.
I did not know that. Wow. God damn it.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Pedro, no.
I actually really like that show too.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna sit through every episode. Is this when he dies?
No, it'd probably be episode 1.
We're DMing Mike every time.
Every episode. Let's do a Jeopardy thing. How does Joel get murdered? By pickaxe, by golf club, or by a regular axe? I want to hear an answer.
Interesting options here.
What were the options again?
Pickaxe, regular axe. Oh, you know what? No. So let's go pickaxe, golf club, regular axe, sledgehammer.
I'm going to say golf club because it seems like the most ridiculous.
I was going to say the same thing, but you gave 2 options for axe, which makes me want to lean axe. But I think for the sake of comedy, golf club. What is golf club?
Yeah. Correct.
Oh, okay. Now I know. I know.
God,
hey,
I can't wait.
Dude, I cried.
Oh,
I did when I bought the game day of.
Nice.
Played it an hour into the game. like legit tears. Like I was like, fuck, like, you know. And there aren't many games that do that to me, or like many like movies that do that to me. But that game, fuck, he was like, you sons of bitches.
Naughty Dog. Is it Naughty Dog?
Yes, Naughty Dog.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. God damn it. They've done it again.
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, no, it is crazy how sometimes the narrative can get built so well into games nowadays. Unfortunately, I don't have that much. I don't dedicate enough time, I'll admit, to gaming as much as I used to. But one game that I've been playing more recently, which as far as narrative goes, it's fucking ridiculous in the best way, I think. Though it does have its criticisms as far as how much of a game it actually is, which it definitely has gamifying moments for sure. But is Senua Sagas 2 or Killblade? What it's called? Senua Sagas 2. Fucking, god damn it. It's killing me right now.
Blade Trinity.
No, I know, right?
Kidding,
I know, right? Something Blade. Fucking
no, I'm kidding.
Shit. Now I gotta look it up. This is staying in.
Yeah, that's fine.
We gotta Google search this.
You know
now.
what we could do?
Hellblade 2 Senua Saga.
There it is.
There we go. Jesus Christ.
Oh, keep it rolling.
I was just gonna say it's just freaking it's insane. Are you guys familiar with that franchise at all?
No.
Hellblade? Just to make it quick, so it's based in like ancient Norse mythology and stuff. And so you are a woman who is part of a village that gets overtaken by like Viking and Norfolk and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. And like they pillage and destroy the village, kill everyone in there, all the nobles, blah, blah, blah. And so all you're left as a human being is to pick up the pieces and try to avenge your loved one as well as the village that you came from and finding who's responsible. And all the while dealing with, at the time, in ancient times, you can imagine, no diagnosis for any sort of psychosis or anything like that. And she deals with, I don't want to like broadly term it, but all sorts of psychoses that she has like bipolarity and stuff like that. And I'm sure bigger fans can talk about other symptoms she has, medical conditions she has, but it's a matter of her logically trying to get through the world and through her objective while dealing with all these inner voices and stuff like that, to where it's like, again, they say that the game is so beautiful graphically, which it is, but at the same time, the true gaming moments are far and in between. It's more about just the overall narrative experience and cinematic nature of the video game itself, to the where the atmosphere of this video game, Hellblade 2 Senua Saga, I gotta say it again, I've not experienced gaming atmosphere like this where it physically affects me to where I'm like nervous and kind of scared and freaked out about the next moment that's going to happen since like Bloodborne on the PS4 or something like that, where just like it's so haunting and so like just so drab and scary and dark and dank and just like you just feel bad.
But it honestly pulls you in.
Yeah, of course. I'm scared as shit. And I'm like, I don't want to look at what's going to happen, but I can't get enough of it. And so that's a game more recently where I've just been enjoying the hell out of just what it puts me through physically and emotionally of like, oh, this is just dirty. But I love it. Anyway.
No, I love that. Before we continue, should we go get another beer?
Oh, yeah. That would be lovely.
All right. And we'll be back. And we're back. Got a couple more beers.
Absolutely.
Got to stay hydrated.
Yeah,
oh, exactly.
100%.
I was a little thirsty.
Hard work out here.
Oh, yeah. It's a sunny day in Orange County, so got to do it. One thing I wanted to ask you guys too, because I've always wondered, because honestly, I think you guys are the first podcast I've ever had as a guest.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, it's our honor.
Yeah.
His honor.
John's still on the fence about it a little bit. We were talking to him
I'm thinking about
during intermission. He's like, I don't know. Maybe we can just cut our losses and bounce right now.
Run right now. Grab a beer, run.
We'll work it out. We'll call him a fucking idiot on the way out, just like he wanted.
Yeah. Start the car.
Take the dog. Morgan's coming with.
Oh yeah. But get like what I've always wondered though is like what are like some of the hardest things you guys like? Oh, you feel like easiest and like hardest or like most gratifying too as well? Like what do you like for you guys, like when it comes to actually, getting together, podcasting, doing all that sort of stuff? What's that like for you guys?
Sure.
I think the obvious answer is obviously getting some type of recognition, just be noticed, getting the follows, people saying they like what we post. Even just yesterday, I was at a brewery and someone's like, are you going to podcast? I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, I know you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. And I was with a friend who's, he's a bad friend. He's a good friend, but he's a bad friend. And even...
and you're like, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I was like, this happens all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is very gratifying. And I love it. To this day, it's amazing. I mean, it's happened a few times where I'm like, wow, like smaller breweries actually listen to what we say about them.
Yeah.
And they appreciate when we give good feedback.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the things that I'm pretty sure AJ does too, that I pride myself in, is that we're honest. Sometimes if we don't like the beer, we don't hold back. Especially me. Especially me. But I think that's what kind of stands us out compared to some other like beer podcasts, is that we're not afraid to just be like, it's an awful beer.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that was something, again, to shout out Greg Nagel at OC Beer Blog on Instagram and such. That was one of the first compliments he gave us back in the day. He invited us to Firkenstein Fest, the craft beer festival he holds annually during Halloween time. And one of the DMs he sent us early on was just like, yeah, to be honest, when I first found you guys, I really appreciated hearing how honest you were. And, there needs to be more of that within the craft beer community. Not that we're not always willing to just slam a brewery for making something that may not be to our taste, but at the same time, we will be honest about it. Because, at the end of the day, while, again, we might have varying degrees of actual information to give about craft beer, at the same time, we do at least are willing to give our honest opinion about it, for better or for worse. Yeah. But it's never to slander or to defame or bring down a brewery or anything like that, for that matter. But more so just be like, hey, if anything, let's challenge them to up their game, because we know what they're capable of. We could rattle off a few names right now, which we'll probably withhold from, but at the same time,
we'll save it for our podcast. I'll say it then. I'll take.
We don't want to damage your reputation.
You're right.
And it's never it's rarely. I should say rarely. I should never say never. The brewery directly. It's typically the beer that we're trying at the time. It's like, it's not good.
100%.
But we've had other beers from them. I'll give this example. I'm not the biggest fan of standard Lagunitas.
Okay.
But we've been to the brewery twice, and they've had other beers at the brewery that just blown me away.
Yeah.
So
100%. Great observation, actually. Great example. Yeah, we went there for his bachelor party. It was like one of the stops we made on the way up to NorCal toward Russian River Brewing Company. And that was just a pleasant surprise that it was on the way up there. We didn't even know. It was in Petaluma, and it was closed the first day we went. We found out, okay, they'll be open the next day. We made a point to go back down there, drove down there, had a blast. And it was like, again, during somewhat of like COVID regulations at the time, a few years back. And so we had the lay of the land to us, really. And it's quite a large brewery space they have over there.
I love it.
Indoor, outdoor. It was a beautiful day out there as well. And NorCal with the weather, it's like over here in OC, where it's just nothing but sea breeze and such as well, So sun shining, but cool weather. You couldn't ask for better, especially with amazing beer. And like John said, he's not, I'll say it again, he's not a fan of the standard IPA.
Not at all.
But you give him like a brown sugar or a little something, and all of a sudden his pants are off.
Yeah, I'll give you a little something.
I'm hoping for it. That's why I give you the beer. But I think that is something that we take pride in for sure. Yeah, when John was telling me that happened to him yesterday over at
California Brewing Reserve?
Brewing Reserve of California. Yeah, exactly. I was like, what the hell? And again, it's happened to him before in other towns. Occasionally, I'm not there when it happens, but I'm like, oh, what? As long as it's
they don't listen for you,
and we're relatively. No, I bet. Mike's laughing because he's like, I don't want to say it, but at least now we know.
No, because AJ said he's like he's going to eventually be that guy that you don't want to say hi to when you're just walking on the street. So.
Every group has a Yamcha.
Yeah.
And a Goku.
You could have said Vegeta for me. You could have said that.
I could have.
Hey, at least you're not a crying little bitch like Gohan was as a kid.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I want to be Saiyan. I want the tights down. Make me Saiyan Man.
Yeah.
But I would say, we're a relatively very small show, like in the grand scheme of podcasts in general, but at the same time, to occasionally do this, again, like we were talking about earlier, like if you stick with something long enough and you put enough of your passion, your heart into it, and and enough dumbassery, apparently, occasionally some people may just connect with what the fuck you're doing. And that's something that I'm endlessly appreciative of. And I actually really appreciate your question about this because it's something we've actually talked about very recently.
Yeah.
We took a drive up to Chapman Crafted Beer over in Orange recently.
Love Chapman.
Dude, it's become one of my tops recently, and we'll get to that later. But I mean, well, we had a talk about like, let's make sure we're delegating responsibilities to where this project isn't such a heavy one just on, overall,
person,
like what can we do to kind of distribute this weight a little bit to where we can actually have our own objectives. And then when it comes time for it, be together and then further collaborate. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we can meet up every week and shoot shit and shoot the show and, do that. But I mean, yourself, I imagine, is this all self-produced by you?
Yeah, just me.
There you go. So, I mean, I can imagine, you put several hours into it on a weekly basis.
Oh yeah.
Very good. So, I mean, when it comes to like, the pre-production, let alone, once you shoot the show, there's still editing, uploading, writing episode descriptions, social media management, as well as making the thumbnail arts and making, clipping out portions of each episode to make that happen. And so with that, it's, it's hours that go into it. And so that's something that we had a good meeting about. And I think as a testament to our friendship is just that, one thing I appreciate about John and I, we rarely, we might talk a lot of shit to each other, but it's always to each other's face. And at the same time,
I would say so.
You beautiful bitch.
Fuck you, bastard.
Emphasis on the bitch bastard. Yes. But along with that, we very rarely have ever fought. And even then when we fought, we made up about 2 seconds later.
Yeah. We're girls when it comes to that. Yeah.
Very much so, in the best way. And that's one thing I appreciate. Like, we have enough respect for each other to not give each other a hard time, but at the same time, enough respect for our friendship nowadays to be like, you know what? Let's be honest with each other and let's figure out what we can do to make Beer Belly work and continue to work to where everyone feels good about it and to where, again, just an even distribution of weight to where the collaborative process is ever present.
Yeah.
And that's one of the funnest parts. Like when we've, steadily but surely have come up with ideas for like little shorts and sketches and stuff like that to further promote the show and episodes. And that's just something that I personally look forward to a lot. So John has recently taken the helm on just coming up with the premise or at least the idea, the topic. And then from there together, we're going to fill those out and script it out and figure out here's the idea. What is it going to be?
How do we execute?
How do we execute? Yeah. What are we going to write now? So that's something super fun. And right now also he's in charge of seeking out like craft beer festivals that we need to be a part of, that we should try to set aside time to arrive to and such. It's fun because like I said, when we went to Ferk Fest over in Anaheim last year, it was an amazing experience. It was super fun. There was people that were really nice and welcoming to us. We got let right in. Again, shout out to OC Beer Blog.
That was pretty surreal.
All expenses were paid for and taken care of. I'm not sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was something that we never expected or asked for. And just from us being dumb we were able to just be invited. And so something where it's like, cool, like all this hard work is actually slowly but surely, paying off. We're here with you having a great time. Look forward to coming back anytime. We're welcome. But I definitely understand if we're not. After today, we've earned it, baby. We've earned the excommunication for sure.
This is all wheelhouse for me. And that's one of the things, like, I mentioned before, like, I love your guys' rapport. I love you, like the camaraderie you guys have, obviously being friends and stuff. But it reminds me of the old Taps and Tailgates days when it was me and my best friend and my brother, but doing that together. And I do miss that at times. But I mean, I know people get busy, right? Yeah. And that's why I say it's sometimes it's hard to do shit every week.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the things too that, like, man, like you have, like, and you guys know you guys are 132 episodes in. The consistency, I feel like that matters so much, but 100%. Not a lot of people talk about it. But it's freaking true though.
Oh, most certainly. I think we would both agree with that. And unfortunately, there have been lapses in throughout the 4 years we've done the show where it's like, crap, man, that's like a few weeks where we haven't been able to upload because I'm tied up at work. I wish that I had more time.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it'd be a dream to be able to, if I could be full time, just post pre-production, and that's all there is to it is Beer Belly. I would want nothing more in life.
All right, 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
More reason to get drunk.
One full clone. Exactly. Drunk both times, though.
Beer Belly X is what we call that one.
But honestly, it's
That
hard,
sounds
though.
too good. But it is hard, and I don't want to complain, but at the same time, it is the reality of the situation. Consistency is king, I think, in this realm, and with that, it's not always easy to uphold, but at least knowing that, hey, no, we're doing our best, we're doing what we can with the time we have.
Exactly.
Let's fucking execute to the nth degree and make sure that at the bare minimum, like we were talking about before coming on this show, John and I, let's just do the best to deliver it and just be us and have a fun time doing it. And that's at the end of the day, all there is to it. And if you do that, eventually, sometimes people will come around and it works out.
1000%.
Your show is a testament to that.
No, I appreciate it, Ed. But like, honestly, like there's been times where I've had episodes where I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I want to put this out because like people are sometimes, it's only happened a couple times. I'll say 2 times. I'll tell you who it was off air.
3 times this time.
Yeah.
When are you going to post the episode, Mike? Soon.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Next year.
It's November 2024. Come on, baby.
Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle, motherfucker.
Please go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, sometimes it's super easy. And because, we've talked on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we've never actually had a conversation over the phone or anything like that. And you guys have made it so easy. And I feel like, Jake, obviously listening to your show, like, I'm like, oh man, like we could go for 3 hours if we wanted to. But
sure.
But it's a testament to you guys because like not everybody knows what it takes to put into that. So like, to put into producing something like this, and sometimes you'll get 1-word answers.
Sure.
And it's like,
understood.
Man, man, especially like when it's like you're super excited about it. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be the best. And then I get like, I have an hour and a half worth of questions and I go through it in 25-30 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, son of a bitch.
How do I stretch this out?
Right.
Yeah. What else can I bring?
Song and dance number.
Yeah. It's like, did you like it when Piccolo, absorbed fucking, was it Nail?
Oh, that sounds right, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Frieza Saga?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went super nerd with Dragon Ball Z.
No, amen. You're in good company.
Hey, but you know what? He calls you Yamcha, but at least you're not like Yashirobe or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you see?
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause
mind
I respect
Yajirobe actually
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yajirobe.
He's the one that cuts the
Yajirobe.
tail off. What's his face?
He does.
Vegeta?
Yeah, he
There
cuts
you
off
go.
Vegeta's tail. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Just need a couple sensu beans, you'll be fine.
I'm more of a Kirin guy. I dished out the senzu beans.
Like Ichiban?
Whatever. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Just I'm drug dealer. Just like here you go, bitches. Now go
John
power
brought
up. You're welcome. What's that?
No, because you said Kirin, I was like Ichiban.
Oh yes, exactly. But thing.
Oh yeah.
But no, yeah, dude. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is something that will always hold a special place in our hearts for
same,
sure.
man.
It's badass. It's like 90s kid all day, baby.
Yeah.
All day.
It's like the longest. Like there's like one fight lasts like an entire
Oh
season.
my god.
And it's
One
like,
punch
is
his throat.
Goku gonna turn Super Saiyan? Stay tuned for next week
I know,
on
right?
Dragon Ball Z.
You love to hate that man's voice.
Yeah.
You hear it, you know it's done, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's a hype voice, but it's so dissatisfying every time.
Yeah.
You thought you were gonna have what you wanted,
Yeah.
but it's next time.
Yeah. And Krillin just got blown up.
Dude, I know, right?
And the episode starts, then the following episode, it's about Bulma. It's like,
Yeah.
what just happened?
Yeah. And it's like a 10-minute intro
Yeah,
about what
exactly.
happened in the last episode.
Exactly what I was thinking.
But
Right.
I don't know. Did you guys ever own any of the Blu-rays?
Yeah, actually,
He
yes.
did.
Yes.
Where they have marathon mode, where there's no intro?
I actually haven't noticed that. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, if you have the Blu-rays, you can put them on, and you can put on marathon mode, so there's no intro, no outro. It just cuts into the next episode.
Oh,
That's pretty
so
rad.
it's like super kind of cinematic, and
Sure.
it's like, yeah, that you could blow right through it. Like Goku
Sure.
goes from like when he's in that stupid pod going to Namek,
Yes.
and he's like working out on like 1,000
Gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you go from that like from 100 gravity to 1,000. It's like in like 3 episodes.
Mhm, that's cool. At least that kind of streamlines it a little bit more.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it makes
nice
it way
instead of
easier.
fucking 10 episodes.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Your son is dead. Speed it up.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, get
Yeah.
there, please.
Is it Guru? What's the big Namek? The fucking
Ginyu, Captain Ginyu?
No, he's talking
the
about
big Namek.
the Elder
Oh,
Namek.
my bad. Oh,
I don't even remember his name. The one that
Captain Ginyu.
The one that
was-
dies?
Yeah.
the one who unlocks their powers.
The one that's
Yeah, and then it all goes to not Nail. What's the fucking little kid's name?
oh fuck.
I should know this.
I'm kind of disappointed.
He was
that
friends
John
with
doesn't know
Gohan
this.
kind of at the time.
Yeah.
Cute little guy. What the fuck
Yeah.
is his name? Shit.
I can't think of it.
He's the creator of the Dragon Balls.
He gets older too
the newer
throughout the
one.
show. Fuck.
Yeah.
We got to keep it in the show.
Yeah. Right there. I'm leaving all this.
Jump cut to answer.
These guys are really nerds. They don't know what they're talking about.
They're like, oh, you fucking, they're called pseudo nerds.
We semi know what we're talking about. See, we said it earlier. We're only going to get dumber because we're here now. So I'm sorry. Now it's affecting you.
Yeah.
God damn it. It's affecting
He
the
was beer
Taproom
bellied.
Podcast.
It happens. You were beer bellied.
You were bell. Yeah.
I got go fucked.
Certainly.
Yeah.
You poor bastard. you thought you were going to have a great time. Well, you might still have a great time, but now your IQ points may have dropped several by this point now. I apologize.
No. This is, for me, it's all wheelhouse for me.
Amen.
So I love craft beer, but it's also rare that I get to talk about craft beer and being such a nerd as I am, like when it comes to comics or video games or any of that stuff. So to me, this is like a treat for me.
Oh, amen. Comics is something that actually I got back into a little bit because of John. After years of being friends with him, I didn't realize he had a sick classic comic collection until like a while into knowing this guy. And all of a sudden, randomly, he whips out this like plastic bin, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, you got like the classic original run of Marvel Zombies. The Death of Captain America and shit.
It was like the second run.
Oh, was it?
I have the original run.
Oh, shit.
Marvel Zombies?
Nice.
Yeah, and original Walking Deads.
Crazy.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's got to be worth some
Deads.
shekels
I'm sure some
right
of these
there,
are,
buddy.
yeah.
Holy crap. Jeez, original Walking Dead?
Yeah.
That's insane. So yeah, I've steadily, I try to be better about it. I'm more of a Marvel Unlimited guy now, just to save a little bit of cash, Next thing you know, month after month, you start going there. It's like, oh crap, this adds up quick.
I would go to Frankenstein's every Wednesday, bro.
Oh, number one spot for sure.
Yeah, new comic book day. That was my thing. But like when I was a kid, it was about like honestly, until like late in high school, none of my friends knew I was into comics.
Really? Okay.
I didn't want to tell anybody.
Oh,
because
sure.
because back then, like 2005, it was like, oh, you're going home to watch Power Rangers and read comics, you fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. I was the same way with like Pokemon. By the time the third generation came around, similar vibes. I was in like, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade at the time. And I remember some kid was like, oh shit,
you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
I know, right? No. Actually, I did too, but. Monster Rancher. In unison. You know? 3D for your asses right now.
I must have jinxed you guys can't talk till I say your names.
Oh,
you son of a bitch.
Oh, there we go. There it is. Well, you had to say bitch.
No, but I mean, because I feel like back then it wasn't like, obviously you probably would have get bullied or whatever if you were in comics and stuff like that. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that it's super popular. It's mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
But I also I almost miss the like being able to go to a comic book shop. I mean, I still have a pull list. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
but
really?
only for certain ones. Because I, like you said, you probably have like a dump truck's worth of comics, and so do I. But I can't keep them all in my room.
Sure.
But when you find the ones that you like, the special releases, like when they did Batman Spawn about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now. Like when you find those certain ones, like when they did Swamp Thing, the winter special a couple of years ago, it's one of my favorites. So I want to ask you, John, some of your favorite characters? You can go DC and Marvel, whichever you want to do.
Oh, I'm strictly Marvel.
Oh,
I'm still waiting for my check from Disney. That used to be a joke in our old podcast.
Okay.
That's no longer a joke.
So you don't like DC at all?
I wouldn't go that far. I just think that the heroes are a little OP.
Okay.
And it's a bit of a turnoff for me.
Yeah.
I love a lot of their villains.
Yeah.
Like Superman, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think Superman has amazing villains.
Yeah.
But they kind of keep going towards like the same two.
Yeah.
So that's a massive turnoff for me. But I mean, Magneto, Iron Man.
Okay.
Honestly, I hate to say this, but because of the MCU, Captain America, I would say before the MCU, I really wasn't a big fan
but
of
I thought
Captain
you were
America.
Winter Soldier.
Well, I'm in.
That's why he loves me. So there you go.
Because of the
MCU. Exactly.
But I was a huge fan of the X-Men. So like the X-Men characters have always been my thing. I mean, I grew up, in the 90s watching the X-Men TV shows, Silver Surfer, Iron Man, Fantastic Four. I watched all of them.
Silver Surfers will always be one of my favorites.
I recently burned through that on Disney Plus. Still holds up.
Yeah.
Still holds up.
Respect.
And I love like how deep the lore goes in there. I'm like, holy shit, they're bringing up characters that I didn't even know was associated with Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Silver Surfer, he's on the list too. But I would say my all-time favorite is Magneto.
Okay.
100% Magneto. And it's been that way for years. I eventually want to own a Corgi. We have 2 senior dogs.
There you go.
So we're kind of waiting for the time when, to go.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. No, I'm playing. I love our dogs.
He means replace them.
Yeah.
And when I finally get my Corgi, his name is Magnus. I've been saying that for years. Yep. I'm ready.
Yep. And mine will be Xavier, of course.
Yes,
Yes.
We made the agreement. Yes, but Magneto, 100% hands down. I love Magneto. His backstory, his powers.
Oh yeah.
His beliefs. I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
Conflicted man for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like I mentioned earlier, Omega Red was always one of my favorites.
Omega Red.
Gambit. I mean, Gambit was always kind of like that freewheeling, because I love Wolverine too. But like Wolverine, I feel like is like a given.
Mm-hmm.
But Punisher was always one of my favorites. Like one of my favorite comics I own was when Steve Rogers dies and Frank Castle takes over the mantle and becomes Capital Punishment. That was like 2007, 2008, I think.
This was after Civil War? Or how many times does he die? I know he dies at the end of Civil War.
Because you have that.
I have that specific issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the issue. I'll show you a picture of it after. But have you ever seen it? Like when he becomes Capital Punishment?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Nice.
just get ready. Yeah, like, you're like, I just. What did he say? Cotton needs a new pair of shorts. But like DC, I was like Swamp Thing. I mean, I love Superman. I love Superman just because of the first run the first comic I ever owned was John Byrne wrote Man of Steel. It was a 6-issue run in the 80s, but I went to a comic book shop or hobby shop actually with my dad, and that was the first issue I ever bought was Superman. But Swamp Thing, Booster Gold, like. I love all the Etrigan, like one of the the demon, like one of my favorite characters of all time. And who doesn't love Batman? You give him enough time, he'll kick anybody's ass.
Yeah, Batman's great. I think he is my favorite DC character. Batman. Yeah.
I mean, Bats is just he's he told Superman is like, I want you to remember this. This is the moment that a man beat you.
Hell yeah!
I'm paraphrasing, obviously,
right.
I didn't read that comic, but I know they did that in a animated movie because I watched that.
Yeah,
when he was like
Dark Knight
older.
Returns. Yeah,
is that what it is?
It's in the Dark Knight Returns. Yeah.
Oh, crazy!
Yeah.
He was already an older man when he did it.
The one I saw.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, he said, "Hold that shit."
Yeah, Frank Miller did it.
Frank Miller.
Yo, then he makes me ridiculous.
Yeah, Frank Miller. Yeah, I was gonna say Alan Moore, but no, Alan Moore was Watchmen. That was the second comic I ever bought. My dad had no idea there was a big blue swinging dick in that comic book. Yeah, yeah. Watchmen when that came out, that was like, fuck, dude. Yeah, like I was like, that's what comics. Like, that's, I guess maybe that's why, like, cinematically, that's why I love movies so much, because when you read those books, they are cinematic.
That dick looks better in theaters, right? That IMAX just swinging.
Blue swinging dick.
Like, Zack Snyder, you son of a bitch.
All those poor Vietnamese soldiers just whacked away left to right. Oh no, the balls are coming back down.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big
fucking got dank and warm in here. No.
It's a big old veiny bastard.
I'm sorry, Mama.
And we're talking about dicks on the show.
It always comes back around to
it. We get there.
We like Superman too, but more so for Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
of course.
Built like a brick should have.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that one hurt. Him, the whole thing that happened.
Oh, I know.
That one hurt me.
I couldn't believe that. He's too fucking gorgeous.
I was gonna say,
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
That moment where he's lifting the freaking oil tanker.
I wish I was the tanker. I was like, if only.
Yeah. I always used to say the same thing about Tom Welling in Smallville.
Sure.
Like, man,
sure,
I'd let him throw me around.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the first things John ever told me. I asked him, I was like, who's your man crush? And back in the day, it was, you want to say?
Was it Henry Cavill?
No, before that. It was Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Yeah. As Tony Stark specifically, he's like, oh yeah, I'd let him fly me away, carry me away. And I was like, absolutely, 100%. No. It's the suave.
Was he still on the powder back then?
I know, maybe a little bit. In the early days, it's possible. It's very possible.
We don't condone doing drugs on this show.
Oh, very good, very good. All good.
But you do you.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, should I put my drugs away?
I know. So we're not breaking it on the table today.
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden Bradley Noel from Sublime showed up. Oh.
Ziploc bag you can put back in my pocket.
That was a joke.
God damn it. Oh my God. I have to ask, for yourself, being the comic nerd you are, do you have like maybe a more contemporary cover artist that you appreciate nowadays? Or are you more old school? I barely in the past 5 years have gotten more into it.
Oh man. Man, it's a tough question. I love I'm trying to remember the names of some of the artists.
Oh, no worries.
But there's okay, so one of my favorite stylistic kind of comic that I really love is Batman Noel.
Oh.
I know it's Lee Bermejo. I don't know if he was the one that wrote it or was the artist. And I'm sure I'm going to get people are going to message me like, Lee Bermejo's a fucking writer, dumbass.
Just let us know then in the comments.
But Batman Noel is like stylistically the way it was shot. Well, not shot, but like the way like you see it and the way stylistically, because it's almost like a Charles Dickens kind of movie, like not movie, but The Christmas Carol. So it's like Batman's version of The Christmas Carol.
Crazy.
At one point, like Joker's dragging Batman to the grave of Thomas and Martha. People hated that scene. I actually liked it.
I'm one of the people who hated it.
Yeah,
I bring it up anytime somebody's like, "What was bad about that movie?" Martha.
No, I understand that, but I also get because it was like PTSD for Batman,
right?
So that's why I loved that scene, because it was that kind of connection, because they've always had that,
right?
Because one of my favorite, and I'm going way off topic, but one of my favorite comic runs of all time was Superman Speeding Bullets. It's when Superman actually crash lands in Gotham and Thomas and Martha find him. So instead of having Bruce, he is Bruce. They name him Bruce, and so they find Superman, name him Bruce, parents still die. And ends up Lex Luthor ends up becoming like the Joker type character, being the one that killed him. But he's Superman, but he's wearing the cape and cowl. So if you ever get a chance to read that, that
sounds interesting.
It's a really good one. But then eventually he takes it all off and becomes Superman and rocks the ass. But it's a pretty I miss those old one-off comic.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm going way down.
No, please, by all means, that's badass. It's fun when you get those little mini runs.
Yeah.
Yes, no, certainly. That sounds intriguing. You have to please link it at some point.
Oh yeah, no, I'll send it to you.
That'd be badass.
There's one more that I'll say, then I'll shut the fuck up.
No. Keep it going.
No, do you guys Star Wars guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Luke's lightsaber tatted on my arm.
Sick.
Man.
Yeah, it said there is no death, there is the Force.
But the Star Wars.
Don't make me spit take right now.
No, but there's a Star Wars comic I have. I still own it. Mm-hmm. It's when Han Solo crash lands on Earth with Chewie.
Mm-hmm.
Crash lands on Earth with Chewie, and they both die. Oh no, Han dies in the landing. Chewie survives, but Chewie ends up becoming Bigfoot.
I was about to say Bigfoot.
I know.
Wow.
He ends up becoming Bigfoot, and guess who finds Han Solo's bones?
I'm not sure who.
Indiana Jones.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah.
I heard this recently on a podcast and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like,
really?
What?
I own that book.
That's badass, dude. Hold on to that. That's
hold
so
on.
Sick.
It's honestly, I looked at it, it ain't worth shit.
Oh, okay.
But I would never get rid of it.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's just,
There's this one Star Wars writer where, again, the first time I heard about this was recently, like a month ago on a podcast. And it's like an author of some of the books that are out there.
Yeah.
And he's saying it's his favorite Star Wars story of all time.
It's great.
And it's like a 5-page or 7-page story.
It's not long at all.
There you go.
But I'm going to read it.
Crazy,
not long at all. Do they have it as an ebook?
Can we legally, illegally download it?
So yeah.
Maybe.
No, honestly, I'm sure they do. I'm sure you could probably find it on an e-reader or something like that.
That's crazy. No,
but
that's
those kind of stories, though, to me, it's that gets me.
I've been wanting to get into the Kylo Ren 5-part miniseries or something like that as well. And Darth Vader's had a few runs over the past several years too. I think since 2017. To really dive into it, but I've heard I heard especially the second run is amazing. But yeah,
I have the. Sorry, I'm not trying to go on about myself.
Do
about
it.
My comic books.
You're on Beer Belly.
I
as well.
The
takeover.
Yeah.
Honestly, no. I'm we might have to do this at least monthly.
That would be lovely.
And if you want me to come on your guys' show, I will fucking be there. Just tell me when, and I will log on.
You're pre-invited.
But oh no, and it's gone.
That happens.
Oh, We were talking about Star Wars, Darth Vader's second run.
Oh yes, okay, there we go. And we're back.
Sing it.
Hey, I'm leaving it all in. So
The uncut, just
Yeah.
like John's dick.
Oh man.
okay.
He
Don't
knows.
ask me how I know.
Someone's
but
uncircumcised.
There's pictures online.
And we're getting into that. It's getting a little wild. I love it. Chu's gonna have a blast with this episode.
Onlyfans.com/beerbellypod.
Exactly. It's like, do you want to see?
Do you not?
Totally. We're talking about Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's penis? What?
Yeah. Did the lava / heat cuts?
I still have
Get
one.
rid of the foreskin. Yeah.
It's still there. Sorry.
Does that sound like kind of Sean Connery?
Oh, I'll take it, actually. I'll take it.
But the one that I have, the most expensive comic I have. Oh no, I have like 4 or 5. But the one that's the most is the first appearance of Dr. Aphra in that Darth Vader run you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a first edition.
Oh, wow.
And it's been sitting in plastic, boarded up on both sides.
Sick.
I mean, I've seen some people sell for $900. Like,
Oh my God.
A grand, but I'll never sell that thing. It was cool because it's the first appearance of somebody,
Nice.
and those ones are always the ones that that end up making more money. But
Sure. Oh, that one's for
the
Mike.
Darth Vader run though
Mhm.
is great. The one thing I wish that they would do in like the shows or the movies is, can I get a little Dash Rendar for maybe Empire, like the Shadows of the Empire?
That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. I'm still waiting for like a Cal Kestis comic or something like that. That would be
Something,
amazing.
Like just put somebody.
Video
in there.
games, John. Video
Yeah, I
games.
was like,
He's like, it's not Marvel's Capcom.
Yeah. Pause, skip.
Is he a guest
Yeah.
character? I'd want to know about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's like, bad guys wear capes.
I'm in the conversation.
Sorry, but no, but that's
Yeah.
sick. That's sick, though. I respect that your knowledge for one. I had no idea. I did see that you recently had a comic fan on your show.
Oh
though.
yeah, comics
Most recent
_brews.
episode.
Yeah, great.
Hell
dude.
yeah.
yeah. Like, I'll give you guys a couple stickers that I have in my wallet.
Oh, cool.
That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. Galactus, a destroyer of beers. It's great,
Let's
Oh,
go. That's a
wow,
great
yeah.
beer name.
and he does a mug club. So like he does a Bulbasaur freaking like a pint glass. Like
Sick.
no, I don't know if he has a Charmander yet, but Squirtle. So you're either getting wet or you're getting some leaves in your face.
That's fair
Oh,
enough.
I like both, actually.
Yeah.
I like getting wet.
Yeah, who
There's
does
leaves in my
Ooh,
face.
Yeah.
Gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives? a-
Shut up, Happy.
Oh man,
That throws me way
this might
back.
be one of the easiest episodes I've ever had to do.
Oh man, oh my
I'm
heart's
glad,
singing
yeah.
right now. No, hold 100%. Thank you for having us. Ridiculous time.
I honestly love listening to your stuff. That's like even like the what was the Disney with the finger? Fuck. Oh God, I'm having a brain fart. But
We don't expect you to memorize the episode names, but that's one of the funnest parts.
no, but I love it though because because you guys also love Disney like I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like I mean I had a pass before COVID, yeah, all that dumb shit. But
Right.
before COVID, I went. Like when I had my pass, I would go at least 80 to 90 times a year because they would
snap.
scan your shit, so you knew how many times you went in.
Nice.
What are some of your favorite? What are your top 3 favorite rides?
Yeah.
Top
So
3 favorite rides and foods.
Oh.
So top
Oh.
3 rides, top 3 foods.
Sure.
So I'm a big chicken when it comes to rides.
Okay.
So I won't do like the hardcore ones. And I know Disney
It's
doesn't have
called being a
hardcore
pro.
ones.
Disney does
I'm
not.
I'm a bitch.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm gonna call you
I know,
Disney himself.
I know what
Yeah.
I am. Trust me, I know what I am when it comes to rides. But I do love
Mr. Toad.
Too hot. Too hot. Too hot. You can't do it.
At the end of that, I was like, kids could probably get traumatized from this shit. I wrote it for the first time like a month ago. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Star Wars, both of them, Smuggler's Run and
Rise for the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance. That one's so
What
great.
about Star Tours?
Star Tours,
Classic.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong,
They changed it
classic.
up.
But because I'm hyper competitive,
Oh, sure.
it's either the Buzz Lightyear one or Toy Story Mania. I think that's what it's called.
Those are both good.
That sounds right.
And either way, you
Toymania.
got to the Toy Story Mini, you got to jerk the thing off.
Pro.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
Pro.
Yeah, yes.
Pro.
Oh, there was
I
a
fucking
bro.
love
Never mind.
I
Like, of
fucking
course.
Maybe both.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm a pro.
There you go. Very good.
Those are my top 3. Those are the 3 I always look forward to doing.
Okay.
Damn. So I'm a little bit more of an old school Disneyland kid.
Okay.
Grew up in SoCal. I was a spoiled little brat when I was a kid before I had a job and
Still
everything like
spoiled
that.
little brat.
A little bit, but not as much now. I started paying my own bills once I turned 18. But before that, parents would give me we had a few years of annual passes and stuff like that, which is great. I look back fondly on those days. So from back then is where I mostly remember, which is like 2000 to maybe like 2005, 2006, something like that. I would still have to say probably Star Tours just for the memories. I remember
it's a great red.
I remember being a small kid and I forgot to buckle my seatbelt and they didn't check. And I was probably like 6 years old. And I remember sitting next to my grandma at the time and I was sliding off forward away. And I was like, and she was like, Mijo, no.
Imagine if they would have taken that photo.
Exactly. Right. sliding into the asteroid belt. God damn it. Or to the comets in that time. And then I would say another one would have to be probably Indiana Jones.
That's a great one.
Little fun trivia for my family, actually. The giant cobra snake that kind of dashes out at you a little bit, like, and all that. My grandpa, God rest his soul, Grandpa Bill.
All right.
R.I.P. baby. He had a business called Innovative Engineering, and they were actually commissioned to make that snake in the ride.
Oh, dang.
So it's kind of crazy. And I remember the first time I remember hearing about it, my mom was hyping it up. Oh, yeah, Grandpa Bill's company, blah, blah, blah. Made that. Oh, super cool, super cool. And the ride had just opened. And I was a little kid. I was super hype. And as soon I was waiting for the line, it was awesome. As soon as I got seated and it got dark, tears. Crying, a little kid, and I'm
Get
like,
me the fuck out of here!
My dad's
want to see the snake.
My dad's looking at me disappointedly, like, son, I thought you were a man. And I'm like, eyes closed the whole ride. The first time I choose to just muster up some courage to open my eyes, giant cobra at my face. I start crying all over again. Close my eyes again, go through the ride. So there was that, just because of special memories. Yeah. And I would say most recently, Smuggler's Run is ridiculous. Rise of the Resistance is cool. Like what they were able to do technologically with that game is ridiculous. Or that ride. Yep. It's a game of the ride.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous. I think that was really, really cool. But Smuggler's Run kind of gamifies it a little bit more for me, where you can actually kind of somewhat manipulate what's going on and stuff.
You feel like you're a part of the attraction.
100%. You got Chewbacca sitting to your right and stuff like that. So 100%. So yeah, those would probably be my top 3. And then you mentioned comida.
Food is a little harder for me because I'm not a big Disney food guy. I recently went.
So you're not double fisting corn dogs?
Ooh. I'm double fisting beers now. I can get it at California.
Corn dogs. I ain't gonna lie about it.
I do like the chimichangas.
Wieners.
Do you do the panko crust or?
Thank you. Thank you for. I get it because you explained it.
It doesn't look a good wiener.
I don't like that you looked me in the eyes when you said that. Are you a panko crust guy or just standard chili? Or I'm sorry, corn dog guy for yourself?
Standard corn dog, dude.
Same.
No mustard, no ketchup. Just put those.
You don't lube it up at all.
Just put it right in.
Lubed up by saliva. Yeah, that's what it is.
Maybe a bag of hot Cheetos. Who knows?
Ooh, respect.
Nice.
All right, go on. Then.
Yeah, chimichanga. I recently went to. I think it's Blue Bayou.
Blue Bayou.
Blue Bayou. Yeah.
I love that place. It blew me away. And Ballast Point.
In downtown Disney.
Yeah.
Those manta ray doubles will get you.
Those sons of bitches.
Amen. God, for food, the chimichangas, awesome, obviously. Chimichangas are a good go-to. The churros, can't get enough of them. I used to be a big turkey leg guy, but I've had them too many times at the fair where I'm like, what is this like tendon bone thing that's sticking out? Is the bone
too big for you?
Yeah, I for the first time ever. Yeah, for the first time, I was like, wow, I can't fit this.
Yeah,
I've challenged myself. The grease ain't enough lube.
Yeah,
God, that's bad. Sorry, Mom. I will not be linking this to my mother.
He's not sorry.
No,
right.
I'll link it to her. Don't worry.
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Lovely woman. Gloria Mantooth is a saint.
Yeah.
And then,
fucking anchor, man.
I know. Immediate.
We were
classic.
quoting that right before when we were talking, AJ and I.
I love that.
We love that movie.
It's a foundational part of our friendship for sure. I honestly, I'm willing to give up whatever you guys think is better because I don't have that much memorable Disney food in my opinion, and I consider myself somewhat of a Disney kid, and I still don't know that much. To be honest, I've never had anything where it's like, wow, that's Disney. That stands out. But I've heard like I actually heard the new beignets are not that good from like Tiana's whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
I had the old ones and I thought they were just all right.
Yeah, probably from you. Then I heard.
Oh, yeah, probably. Don't take my
sorry, Disney. Still sponsor this podcast.
So waiting for my back.
Taproom Podcast does not agree with all the comments that have been made negatively towards you, but please do so. Continue to support the Taproom Podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyway,
but yes.
How about, I know, right? How about yourself though? What's your go-to
rides? I love Mr. Toad because the reason why is because the Wind in the Willows. Like I remember reading that book as a kid, and my dad would make me like I would always ask him for $20. Like, hey, the book fair is happening, so he'd give me $20. And I'm like, hey, Mom, I need $20 for the book fair. So I get $40. So like I can buy all the books I want. So I buy books, but I bought The Wind in the Willows, and I read that, and I was like, it's about a Disney thing, thinking that the whole Disney owned The Wind in the Willows. So that one, so Mr. Toad will always be number one, but I love Haunted Mansion.
Hell yeah.
Love Haunted Mansion just because of like that kind of thing as a kid. And you mentioned like being a Disney kid. My dad would just drop off me and my sister. She's like, but he'd be like, oh, he's
cool.
Yeah, he would give us like, he would give each some money. I won't say how much, but like he would give us money, and he'd be like, all right, well, call me on the payphone when you're ready to get picked up.
Wow.
So he would drop us off as soon as the rope would drop and do all that sort of stuff.
Oh, snap. How old were you, would you say, back then?
Like 8.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
But
8 years old being set free in Disneyland sounds like a dream.
Oh, well, my sister at the time was 13.
Oh, okay. But still old enough to then navigate and all that, kind of have control of you and the situation.
Yeah, it was the best. And like me and my sister got to go and do that sort of stuff, and it was the best. But Space Mountain probably, oh no, fuck.
Well, Space Mountain is pretty amazing though. It's a classic.
Yeah, I love Space Mountain, but I also love Big Thunder.
Oh, sure.
Because of that, just like that wraparound, when you get that like the G's a little bit.
With the T-Rex skeleton on to the right of you.
Hell yeah, and the stupid goat.
That's my favorite part.
It's like, what are we gonna have? Fucking birria tacos?
The goat and the turtles, just like it's some birria and turtle soup. Let's freaking go.
But as I also loved like Captain EO back in the day with Michael. It was a classic.
Wow, respect.
Yeah.
I see. For myself, I came into it when it was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Oh, thank
which
you.
used to scare me though back in the day when the cat turns into the lion. Used to give me nightmares for weeks. But I was a big pussy
Remember
kid
when that
back
was
in
an
the day.
arcade right there?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yep.
They had good games in there too back in the day. Do they still have it to where when you get out of Space Mountain, there's like Star Wars merch as soon as you walk out?
Wars, yeah.
Oh, okay,
that's where I got my Jabba.
I'm glad. Oh,
Yeah.
is
The
that where you
popcorn
get
Jabba,
it?
they only sold it there. They don't sell it in the Star Wars
Not in
section.
Galaxy's Edge?
No.
Oh, wow. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's my honorable mention is fuck the rides. Galaxy's Edge is my freaking barrio. I love that spot.
Honestly, it kind of looks like a space swap meet.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love it.
Mm-hmm. Trade some Jawas. They freaking jump you. It's 5 of them, but they want like whatever your kyber crystals you're carrying on them.
Yeah.
That's it. Love that.
Oh. I was just gonna say because I feel like I've taken up so much of you guys' time.
No,
but favorite Disney movie because I'm like when there's still I want to talk
how
about. But
dare you?
God, that's
I'm an old
hard.
school guy.
Mine's pretty old. I'm gonna stick with the Goofy movie.
Oh, banger!
I'm gonna stick.
Banger,
Yeah, absolutely.
I bump it.
Now I feel like we kind of all have to sing it on it. We can only do it for like 5 seconds.
And maybe love is a reason why, for the first time ever, seeing it eye to eye.
I love it.
Gotta do the shimmy. That was actually pretty good.
And to quote Goofy, that's the perfect cast.
Oh, that's adorable. We did pretty good. We're starting a family band.
There we go. And also we'll start singing Lion King. No.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Don't make me cry right now. It's actually funny you asked this question because I just cried with my wife watching Monsters Inc. before leaving to come here this morning.
What a banger, though.
No, it's
for
amazing.
sure.
But where'd you cry? With the boo part at the end?
At the very
Okay.
end. Yeah, of course. Kitty. And I was like,
You
what?
son of a bitch.
God damn it. Or, I mean, obviously you get the comic relief with Randall getting hit with a hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Or the shovel at the end. But that's good. I don't know. What would you say, John?
I already said.
Goofy movie. I'm sorry.
I'm sticking with Goofy movie.
That's a 90s classic. I mean, If you were to ask me when I was a little kid, I'd probably say Robin Hood.
Oh,
That's
okay.
That's an easy one for sure. But
AJ's just a sweetheart.
Yeah.
God damn it.
that's why he lets me bully him.
Yeah.
Well, not let me. I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's either I let it or it just happens. Doesn't fucking matter. There's another word for that we won't see on this show.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Just edit in a sheep sound instead of whatever I'm going to say.
I will never ever to censor one thing one time.
Oh my God.
And it was myself, so I was handling
Respect. Sometimes that's what you got to do as a
Yeah.
host. It's okay. God damn it. How dare you ask such a question?
I know.
For me, I go towards the tear jerkers. When I was younger, I would have said more about the adventure, but now it's like what affects me emotionally because I'm getting older and it's getting harder to hold back the tears.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, fuck. Can I just name a tear-jerking moment instead of the overall movie? That's all I can do right now.
Name a couple movies if you want.
Lion King then. That was like what, like 94, 95 maybe?
Yeah.
That was
Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh
94,
my God.
95, yeah.
Shit. I cried. I cried so many times. I remember Aladdin. My mom took my sister and I to go see that movie, pulled us out of school to see it. And I cried at the Cave of Wonders the first time, not because of the beauty of it, because I was so scared of it. I've named multiple times I've been scared of Disney. So maybe I'm the bitch.
I was about to
John.
say, I think
Okay.
you might be
Maybe
a
I am the
bitch. You know,
bitch.
not maybe. You are.
But I would say the moment that got me the most recently, tears-wise, and I held back, but it didn't work very well, was when the grandma, spoilers,
Coco.
for the first 5 minutes, Coco was good. No, the grandma in Moana, when she turns into the beautiful like manta ray
okay. Yeah.
and
I'm
like
okay
turns
with
in the
that.
waves and guides her and is like the one supporting momentum she has to
Yeah.
be who she feels destined to be. I'm like, fuck, dude, she's following her dreams and she has the one person in her life who gave her that shit, who let her make her feel okay about it. God damn it. And that's what got me hard. And then she's singing beautifully during the part. I'm like, how far I'll go. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's got to be one for sure. There's
least-
some song numbers that I don't agree with, but
Yeah.
it's a great movie nonetheless.
At least you didn't say that bitch ass grandma from fucking Encanto, because she was a bitch.
Oh no, she was a royal.
Sorry.
What's the
Sorry,
word for
all
witch
the
in Spanish?
abuelitas. Yeah.
Bruja.
Bruja.
Yeah. Sorry to all the abuelitas out there that are bitches, but yeah.
They exist.
better.
There's very sweet abuelitas. There's very
No, but there's those evil ones.
I bet.
But she was a bitch.
Absolutely. Let what's his face go. What was his Bruno?
Yeah.
God.
You want to talk about Bruno?
How about you? Where do you
my
land?
number one?
Please.
Treasure Planet.
Treasure
Oh my
Planet.
God. Goo Goo Dolls soundtrack
Yeah.
too a little bit. Great song.
Banger.
Bang.
Wow, I haven't seen
Yeah.
that one in years.
Great
Yeah.
call. The wifey and I
Dude,
watched it
and
last year.
it's on Disney Plus and it's in 4K. And it look because remember how like that they were trying to bring in like that almost a 3D animation to it.
Atlantis. That's
Yes.
another one.
Oh,
good one.
man,
Yep,
Milo,
yep,
Milo, yeah, banger.
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned getting taken out of school for one. My
Sure.
dad took me out of school to see Homeward Bound 2.
Oh,
Chance.
Chance.
Yeah, Chance. Look, everybody thought Chance was going to die as Michael J. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could record him because he wasn't on camera. Just kidding. I love it. Hey, my stepdad had Parkinson's. It's fine.
He can say it.
Yeah,
It's
I can
fine.
say
It
it.
was
I had
part
to
of
deal
his
with that shit a
experience.
lot of my life. So shout out to my
Things got a little shaky for a minute, but ultimately it worked out just fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good. Back to the future.
And we're back.
And we're back. I got to pop out of John. I love it.
Oh, he lets him go every now and then. You got him good.
Oh man.
God, that Treasure Planet's pretty sick. The sense of adventure, the freaking like space wind sailing and stuff like that. It's visually it's a marvel for sure.
Oh, dude, and that's
It's
why every
pretty awesome.
time they have something at Disneyland.
Mm.
Well, when I used to go all the time, if they had like sometimes you find like the single portrait, like the ones you be like $50 or whatever,
Sure.
or the pins. If they had something Treasure Planet or Brother Bear, it was like
Brother Bear. Huh?
yeah.
One big beaver there,
Dude, and
Love
that they talk about beer in that movie. He's like, oh no, he's a bed of barley on a fucking thing of hops, and then they talk about it
That's
because it's
right.
Rick Moranis, but nobody ever realizes that till after you hear that.
All right. Wait, Rick Moranis was
One of the moose.
really? I
Or
didn't
Meese?
realize that.
Moose?
Mooses?
I don't know, close enough. Fake an accent.
Moose works. No, I didn't realize that. That's freaking
Yeah.
cool. Wow, probably one of his
Bob
last
and Doug
roles.
McKenzie from Strange Brew.
Oh, wow. Small world.
Yeah.
Crazy. I had no
It's
idea.
a whole new world.
No, yeah, those would have to be the go-tos for sure. I mean, there's a million of them, you know. Finding Nemo, special place in my heart. My dad took me to go see
banger,
that. And that's a father-son kind of movie. And he just randomly took me to go see it one day when it had just come out that weekend. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm about to cry in front of my dad. I look over, he's crying already.
Bro,
I'm
you were like
"Damn."
13 when that came out. You are a bitch.
I know. I was like, we're at the age where I should no longer cry.
No, yeah.
And I did.
But you did. Yeah.
I definitely did.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Onward?
Wait.
I have not.
Yes. Yeah, that's the
Chris
elf
Pratt
one or
and-
something like
Yes.
that, right? Yes. I did like that one. It was good.
Cried my ass off.
Really?
Because it reminded me of my brother. Because
Oh, okay.
my brother, like his dad, because we're stepbrothers, but
Mhm.
like his dad passed away, so it was like he was like, you know, I felt like I had to take over the dad role. So it was like,
That's badass though, dude.
Yeah.
Your older brother then?
yeah,
That's cool. Now, respect. I mean, that's the thing that freaking Disney and especially Pixar nowadays are always.
Yeah.
They know how to take the
yeah.
heartstrings
It's like
a little
fucking
bit.
Bambi, that bitch.
We've done it, boys.
You know, it's crazy. We're at an hour and 40. Almost.
Oh my god. We
And-
were worried about making 30.
No, but to me, though, this is the best though because like it doesn't feel like we've done.
Just shooting the shit.
Let's go have a beer.
Should we? Oh, I mean, we have like that. Oh,
After.
I got like 3 questions.
Please,
Okay,
lay it
yeah,
on
let's-
us, baby.
Because what I've always wanted to ask, because I mean, I love your show, and I've quoted your show a bunch today.
We appreciate it.
But have you guys had a favorite episode? And I sort of got, if you say the Joffrey episode, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just.
I think more recently, my favorite episode has become the Enjoy By.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, do you want to go into what that is a little bit? What that
Yeah,
was for the
so-
people that aren't familiar with us?
We had the crazy idea. We've been doing this for 4 years, and
John had the crazy idea. I have to give him the credit for this.
we executed because you helped out on getting one of them.
I take back the wink and the nod.
He's like, fuck you.
Was
100%.
saving the 4 different Enjoy Buys that come out in a year, which is what the New Year's, 420, July, and Halloween.
Yes.
So we had always talked about saving all 4 of them, doing a blind testing, comparing them, seeing which one was our favorite. We finally, after several attempts, because I would buy a 6-pack, I'd save one, I'd drink the one, buy another 6-pack, drink the one.
I would do the same, or more so my dad would end up drinking a lot of them.
So I'd burn through a lot of those Enjoy Buys.
Yeah.
We finally were able to collect all of them. We did it on a Christmas
Christmas
Day
morning.
at like 8:30 a.m. We're drinking 8% and up,
Yeah.
blind testing these.
2 of each.
Yeah, 2 of each, the Enjoy Buys. And you can literally hear at like the 15-minute mark, we're drunk.
Yeah.
Like we're sober, we're making sense.
Sober enough to make the show happen.
Yeah, and then we're drunk.
Yeah.
And then it's just nonsense.
30 minutes in, it's a problem. We're still coherent. We're still making it happen. We come to a deduction and a decision, but yeah, it's rough. But that episode will always.
I've listened to it a few times, so that one's definitely my favorite. But I gotta just mention this one. I love AJ's editing for this, but we did an episode where we drank, what was it? It was seltzers?
Hard seltzer
Seltzers.
challenge episode.
And we agreed that we were going to drink 3 in 30 minutes. So we had to get them done, one can done every 10 minutes. And then it was like 10 minutes into the episode, we were like, let's not burp.
I'm trashed.
Let's no longer
Let's
burp.
see how far we can go without burping.
Anyone who's had a hard seltzer, which is everyone from like 3 years ago when, certain brands were super popular, knows the shit's pretty carbonated.
Yeah. And, it's
How many did we have?
3, 4.
Probably
We had,
more.
I think it was 4 in 30 minutes because I thought the time was we had to drink it every 7 minutes to
Yes.
make the deadline.
Well, he was freaking improvising rules as we shot
So
the
we're
episode. I'm
going
like,
on.
fuck, let me keep up.
Let's just fucking do it.
My stomach's expanding to the degree it can no longer.
It's not too bad to hold in a burp if one is taking you 30
cute.
minutes to drink,
cute.
but we were
Told him one.
we were drinking a can every 7 minutes.
The burps were compounding like an interest rate with a good bank. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
AJ made an amazing edit. It's one of our Beer Belly clips clips where we're holding our burps and then they just start fucking coming out. I love that.
I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
It was really fun. It was just like, let's just see all the stupid shit that John has to say within this amount of time and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, yeah, you just hear the burps getting rifled off from both of us. It's a pretty fun time. It's one of actually our pinned moments, I think, on our Instagram account. So go for it if you will. One of my favorites, I usually go kind of like what John said, more of our themed episodes are some of my favorites where we actually go out of our way to be like, let's come up with something, a true idea. Yeah. A good dingus for the episode. Yeah. And so for us, I would probably have to say maybe one where we, I think I have it saved on my phone. Let me see.
I'm curious to know. Is it Pokemon Shake Cage?
Pokemon Shake Cage is mentioned for sure.
Who pooped the poo?
Who pooped the poo?
Did you catch them all?
These are, we got them.
Houston, we got them.
The Great Beer Belly Wars, which one? Some of them are pretty epic titles.
The one that I forgot about for a moment, I forgot about the full title of the episode, which was episode 22, Buzzballs Part 2, the threequel.
Buzzballs Part 2, the prequel?
The threequel.
Oh, the threequel. It's almost like fucking Hot Shots at that point. It's Hot Shots Part D.
Yes. Full on freaking chicken bone, freaking bone arrow and everything. But no, ridiculous episode where we had, again, I guess, sorry to name product names on the show, but yeah, Buzzballs.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Every once in a while, we will mostly do craft beer, but every once in a while we get a little stupid and we'll do something a little out of the box. Like we'll try a bunch of Buzzballs for an episode and see how that goes. And another one that I would say was one of my favorite episodes, Bangin' Abraham Lincoln.
Bangin' Abraham Lincoln.
Great one for sure. There was one where we did a wine episode where we had very cheap wine. And it was called Paperback Brown, Homeless Porn Star. So that was fun. But yeah, I would say those are some of the easy go-tos off the top of my head. Just from like basically just where we have a theme, we have an idea. Let's just see what the fuck happens based on our stupidity.
We fucking talk about.
Yeah.
So anyone listening, go for it. Have fun.
Yeah. But how fun is that though? Like you get to like look back at those things and, you know, be able to like, no, I'm with my buddy, having some beers, we're getting shit faced. Maybe some Buzzballs, maybe some wine. Who knows?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Let's see where the night takes us.
He surprised me for my birthday. It was like episode. I have it here. Was it episode 115? It was my birthday special, and maybe I'm a little biased by saying so, but it was one of our in-person episodes we had in this den that we have at my house, and it was ridiculous. He brought on all of the IPAs. To reference Stone again, one of a more recent IPA that they released that we liked a lot was Down Understruck IPA.
That's a great one.
It was good.
I missed that one.
Was it a 5.2?
No.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't even been the conversation.
Yeah, he wouldn't have bought it.
No, the best when you were like, give me the 0.2 more. It's 5.4.
I was listening to that one. That one made me like, God damn it, give me the 0.2.
He never does.
No, I never did.
Yeah.
But that was fun. He surprised me like with a bunch of those. A friend came over mid-shoot, and I didn't expect that, and he had more Down Understruck as well. So that was cool. We referenced Anchorman earlier, and one of the beers he brought was an IPA based off Anchorman called Dankerman.
That's what it's called. It was a collab between like three beers.
It's
four
like
breweries.
Artifacts, Virgin.
Yes.
Yeah, I just saw that the other day at the liquor store. I was going to buy it.
It was ridiculous.
But I didn't buy it.
Taste-wise,
I'm going to.
Not bad, but it was a huge collaboration for sure. Yeah. Mm. I would recommend it, at least for the experience and just having something to put on your shelf.
Especially if you love Anchorman.
Yeah. Might as well. Have one, and then if it's not for you, keep drinking more of other stuff.
Dude, when I started this show, I would either end the episode with an Anchorman quote or a Barney Stinson quote from the
Barney
Bro Code.
Stinson.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, then, you got to give us one at least.
What?
An Anchorman quote.
An Anchorman quote?
Sure.
Brick killed the guy. The Human Torch was the night of bank loan.
How now, brown cap? How now?
What's your name? Lylan? Like sheep's wool?
God, look at these bags under my eyes.
Who's driving the car? It's on cruise control.
Oh, Baxter, you know I don't speak Spanish.
Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. I freaking love that shit.
Milwaukee. Oh, man. This has been so fun.
Real quick, while we're on dumb movies, have you ever seen Hot Rod?
Oh, it was Andy Samberg?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time for us, too. That was another foundational movie of our friendship, too, where it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
I still always say trash can. Hospital.
I still quote Will Arnett in that movie. What did you say? Hey babe, why don't we grab some dong bags so we can knock boots later?
Some dog bag.
Sorry, ladies, those of you who are listening.
Oh, it's fine.
We just killed the audience for this show. Can we give a disclaimer to give at the top?
You
I know
will be
you usually
rebelling.
like to open the show.
Oh yeah. You just tell me what you want me to say, and I'll do it.
Everyone, thank you so much for listening to this episode. This is AJ from Beer Belly. We have John right here.
Who's also from Beer Belly.
And Mike always does a really exceptional job with the show. It's nothing but educational and informative. It allows everyone, one thing that we appreciate is how much it allows people to introduce themselves to craft beer, whether you're a longtime enthusiast or someone new to it. And we think that's wonderful. The only problem is...
I got it from here, AJ.
Please.
That's not happening in this podcast. You will get dumber. You were just beer bellied. Your IQ points dropped by 20. Have fun.
I'm just looking over. I'm like, hey, who's
You will not be accepted into college. Or you're not going to college.
Not anymore.
Definitely not.
Not anymore.
Not
Oh,
up
you
in
wanted
here.
to renew your career?
Not anymore.
No. We'll see
Not
you
up
at
in
7-Eleven. Shout out to the 7-Eleven employees.
No, but you guys, man, this is one of my favorite episodes.
Thank you.
Easily one of my favorite episodes I've ever done. You guys, Nadav, like the 3-hour episode we did. Jesus, like, we talked about beer for like 20 minutes, and the rest of it was just about Final Fantasy,
Nice.
fucking, comic book, Star Wars, and all that shit.
We haven't really even talked about beer.
What we had was great.
No, it was amazing. They're empty.
Okay, well, let's end it with this then. Desert Island beer.
Oh, so that's hard for me because
I think we're going to match a little bit, but I think I know where you're going. Go
so
ahead.
if you would have asked me 4 months ago, I probably would have said Pliny the Elder.
I was kind of thinking Miller High Life.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I'm trying to stay sober and hydrated. That's the
Yeah.
best thing to get you hydrated.
Hey.
Another fun episode is when we had Miller High Life. God damn it.
But I've really started to love Lunch by Maine Brewery. I've like really grown, and I hate the fact that I believe it's 6.7.
No.
So it goes against all of my beliefs.
Yeah,
All of his
I know.
standards, yeah.
But-
Sinner.
You sandbagging son of a
You
bitch.
go against the Church of John in
Yeah,
this one.
I
Yeah.
definitely, I'm the creator of it.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
False prophet
But I'd probably still say Elder.
Okay.
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
And the end of the day, it would be an Elder.
All day, every day? Even like 6
All
in the
day.
morning?
Yeah.
oh,
All right.
remind us to bring up 6 in the morning the next time we hang out.
Yeah,
that's
fun.
a story for another episode
I
for
love
sure. But I hate to be that dick, but I agree with you. I knew where you were going with that, and I have to agree. Pliny the Elder, double IPA by Russian River Brewing Company. Shout out. They need no introduction at this point nowadays. Maybe it's a basic answer to give. No offense to Russian River. Just I think that speaks to the sheer popularity that they've
For sure.
well earned over the past decade now, let's say.
Yeah.
Especially the last 5 years. I think they've just blown
Since
up.
they opened up that Windsor location, they're
Seriously.
cranking out those fucking beers.
Allocation, especially, I mean, even outside of California nowadays, has been so impressive. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that more people get to experience it. We still have people on the Beer Belly subreddit that are saying, I wish we can get this in X state. And I'm like, in time, it can happen. It can happen.
Eventually, yeah.
Right.
If Internet will go to Tennessee, Pliny will find its way to the East Coast.
Amen, baby. And with that, but I have to say, Pliny the Elder is there. Again, you make a good point. You're waking me up at 6 in the morning. Is that really what you want to have to start your day? But if I'm on a desert island, I have nothing else to do but to fuck sand and a coconut. So I might as well fucking get drunk and do that. Make love to some crabs that are washing up the shore. a little bit.
Exactly.
Get some crabs while fucking some crab.
We've
I'm
all
sorry,
seen-
Mom.
We've all
I'm
seen
gonna boil
Castaway.
it.
We've all seen Castaway. We all know why Wilson had a hole in his mouth.
He didn't cry over Wilson for no reason.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. It's a long lost lover at sea. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, baby.
And it's that. And to quote Tom Hanks to end the show, Wilson. But no, when I see John, AJ, thank you guys for coming on. This has been a blast. We're almost at 2 hours,
Wow.
and like it flew by. And
Mhm.
honestly, like I love your guys' show. So make sure
Thank
you
you.
guys go on Spotify. I mean, I just type in Beer Belly, it'll be there. You'll see John's sweet ass and AJ's
Literally.
sweet ass.
Literally.
Yeah.
2 peaches.
2
Yeah.
peaches, 1 pie.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a new slogan now.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You're welcome.
Can we show you real quick? I know you were just wrapping these
Oh,
up.
it's fine. Yeah.
We do have some ideas for merch in the works right now.
Yeah,
This is
dude,
our
hey.
shameless promo
Oh.
portion of the show. Real quick,
Oh,
I just
Get in there all nice and deep.
Oh yeah, baby. We should bring that bow. Sorry. So this is one merch idea that we have right now.
Okay.
That I think you're probably the first person outside of the two of us that have seen something like this. Without giving it away too much, this is just something that we have in mind with a transparent background for the time
Why
being.
did you guys go Game of Thrones on that?
There's way too much blood. Oh my God.
Is this the never-ending story?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Our story will never end.
As Mike was gracious enough to say, you can find us on all your favorite podcasting apps at Beer Belly Pod on all the socials. Take it away, Mr. John, as far as promoting shamelessly us goes.
Us. I don't remember any of the socials, if I'm being honest with you.
We weren't even told to promote ourselves. We're just taking over.
We're taking over. Yeah.
That's fine.
Beer Belly.
Beer Belly Pod at Gmail. I'm going to say it correctly because it's not our podcast. Gmail.
Emailnangiani.com.
The Tickle Talks, the Twitters. I can actually say Twitter correctly because it's no longer correct because it's actually X.
Fair enough.
Degenerate. I was going to DXing. Sorry.
You can listen to us, of course, on all your streaming platforms. Spotify.
Oh, you said that one
Spotify.
incorrectly.
Yeah.
Spotify?
No, I'm actually saying it correctly, if I'm being honest.
My bad. It's a long O.
Yeah. If you want to see our beautiful faces, that's definitely where you want to go. If you want to hear our beautiful voices, you can find us anywhere basically at this point.
As Mike said, search Beer Belly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Drink up
Hell yeah.
or Beer Belly. Either way. We'll leave it in. We'll leave it in. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
And you sons of bitches, you tap fam, you thought it was over, didn't you?
We have to do one. We've got to crack a brewski on this last little bit here. Since you've been beer bellied and it's been a takeover.
Since you've been gone by Kelly Clarkson.
An episode of Beer Belly or Taproom Podcast will not be complete without John's lovely words of wisdom for the week. Go ahead, sir.
Invite Beer Belly to all of your podcasts. We will take over. This is no longer the Taproom Podcast. It is the Beer Belly Taproom Podcast. Mike who? I don't know.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Nice
Not
guy.
whatsoever.
I heard.
Invite us to your podcast. We will take over. We will make it better. Although your podcast, Mike, is better than ours.
Much more
Much more better. But
informative.
all the other podcasts, invite us. We will make it better.
By better, he means the opposite.
Either you do or you don't. Either way.
Thank you, man. Sorry.
No.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with John and AJ. I wanted that to be just as raw and unedited as possible, and I fucking love, because I mean that's the way I always love to do it. But especially with those two, it was super fun. Like all the stuff that we had in common when it came to obviously like our love for craft beer, video games, all that great stuff. So make sure you go check out their show. I mean, I fucking love their show. It makes me laugh, all the time. And sometimes when you're having a fucking bad day, it gets you through the day. So make sure you go to follow them on Instagram's Beer Belly Pod. I mean, you can even see their videos. Like you can watch the video on, like if you have Spotify, you can see it on Spotify, or you can listen to just the audio version. So definitely check them out. All right. So we're going to jump now into the segment with John, where we talk about Highway 72 and how it all came together. Enjoy. All right, guys, got a little bonus segment for you here this week. John Kennedy sitting here with me from Whittier Brewing over here in Whittier to tell us about a collab that his brewery did and 3 other breweries. So how's it going, bud?
Good, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. We got to talk a little bit on Friday and have a beer, and then you're telling me about the collaboration. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it just started we did another one a long time ago, and it was just a matter of like, hey, all 4 of us are around here. We should all know each other, because when you have that group, you get that it helps everybody.
Oh, for sure.
Or, oh shoot, I'm out of yeast, or hey, does anybody have this, or how do you fix this? And it just started as, let's get together and make some beer.
Yeah.
And so the one common thing that we have is La Bodega and me, we're in Whittier.
Yep.
The other 2 are on Whittier Boulevard.
Yeah.
Highway 72 series. So
that's awesome.
We always try that, and we always try to make it 7.2%, whatever we make, just to tie all that all in. And so this one kind of came about. Abraham over at Bodega was kind of like, hey, let's do this, and this is what we should do. I don't know if you notice, I'm somewhat Irish.
Yeah.
Kennedy last name.
There you go.
Nathan has Irish background too. And then, Abraham and Adrian, all those guys on the Mexican side. So it was like, hey, let's make a Mexican Irish red.
Yeah.
And we're like, sure. I mean, it's more, the whole point of this is just to get together, have fun, and little community build build up kind of a thing. So yeah, it was Abraham kind of like wanted to do this style, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. No problem.
That's
So
awesome.
one version of it was brewed at Angry Horse, and the other version was brewed at Breweria,
Okay.
because they were able to can, and then they can get the beer to us because we have the kitchens, so we can get outside beer. They can't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Old rules. So, but it worked out. So right now everybody has it on tap, and we got 4-packs available, day before 4th of July.
Perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Right. So let's try it.
Yeah, let's crack her open. Yeah, I was saying it's so cool. I love the can, and I'll post a picture of it later. Like, just how it has all 4 logos on it. That's pretty freaking awesome.
I mean, you can tell the influence of Bodega with the can design, which is, like I said, Abraham started this one. So it's like, yeah, whatever you want to do, man. I'll just show up and hang out.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a deep amber dark red.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like, I think this was the one that was made at Angry Horse is the first one. Sorry, that I
you're
put
good.
on. And you'll notice, come back in a couple weeks when the Breweria one is on, and you'll notice some subtle differences because every brewery, every brew house is a little different.
Yeah.
So
it all depends on you can try to duplicate the same beer on different equipment, and it's there's always a little difference.
the water is going to be different. And
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
there you
cheers,
go.
man.
Cheers. Oh yeah, that is deep red.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then the fun part,
Oh, that's nice.
added the Mexican sweetbread. And
Oh, okay.
some Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
So there's your cultural influence right there.
Yeah.
Which is, that was just more fun. And then we wanted pan dulce, sweetbread, because I was like, well, we're going to be in there in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring coffee. I want cereal and sweetbread. So yeah,
There
it's
you
kind
go.
of fun.
Yeah. No, it has a really smooth finish.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure the Lucky Charms and the sweetbread did something, but
Yeah.
it was more of, just fun ingredient.
Yeah.
A little extra sugar. I know probably the pan dulce probably did more than Lucky Charms. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like you're going to pour a rainbow.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if that happened. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, really happy with it. It's
No,
fun.
that's so cool. I mean, it does have that. You get that like malty right up front, and then you
Mhm.
get that really smooth, almost sweet finish. Yeah.
And it might be some of that from that, like I said, it might be some of that cereal and the bread having some kind of sugar that it mellowed things out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's super crushable, 7.2%. I
Mhm.
mean, it's almost an imperial red, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm digging it.
No, that's awesome. I love it. Yeah. What's it called? might have to snag a 4-pack.
Yeah, well, yeah. Limited amounts.
Yeah.
We only canned, I only have 30 cases, I think is what we kind of allocated to each place.
Okay.
Breweria and Angry Horse may have more.
Yeah.
Since, they canned at their places. So, but yeah, me and Bodega, I think we have 30 cases each that were just, here you go.
There it is.
Why not?
When
First time we canned this, the first one we did was just all draft.
Okay.
So that was a IPA that we did, the Highway 72 IPA.
Yeah.
And other people did other versions of it. So this is the one that we tried to keep like the same
Gotcha.
at each place to try to see what the difference would be and stuff like that. So
Yeah. That's awesome though. I mean, I love all 4 breweries. I mean, all you guys are great. And I've recorded with all 4 of you guys. So I think it's pretty awesome. And when did the brewing process start for you guys?
on this,
Yeah.
I think we did 2 days. We brewed it the same day, maybe about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I think it was maybe a little 3.5.
Yeah.
And then just by the time we got it ready, with canning and all that, to have it
Yeah.
ready last weekend is when we wanted to do it.
Okay.
So the canning took a little bit longer. I mean, this is what happens when you try to coordinate everything. Labels didn't show up. You're like, well,
Yeah.
let's can it and let's just wait.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
happens.
Sorry, we got music.
Oh, it's all good. I can
Yeah,
take
yeah.
care of
It's a
that in
brewery.
post.
Here we go.
Yeah. There's always always gonna be noise at a brewery.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah.
So
That's awesome. So good though.
yeah, be careful. It's 7.2.
Oh yeah. It'll get
Yeah,
you there.
you'll feel it.
Oh man.
I mean, nothing like a nice dark red on a
Oh
90-degree day.
Oh, that's a warm one. Got any fun plans for the 4th?
I'm not going to be here.
Okay.
I bought a barbecue.
There you go.
So I'm going to try and break it in tomorrow and
Nice.
turn off the phone and hopefully nobody calls or nothing burns down or,
Yeah.
that's about it. Yeah.
That's cool. What
Just
are you
that one
barbecuing?
day. Just that one day. And then I'll be right back here Friday. So
Yeah. What are you gonna grill?
Oh, hopefully I don't go crazy, but I can totally see like ribeyes in my future.
Nice.
But hopefully it's just like hamburgers and something simple.
Yeah, 4th of July, it's kind of perfect.
But I know I'll go to the market and I'll be like, oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Like, yep. And next thing you know, I'll probably just fill up the grill and it's just like me and one other person. And I'm like, oh, I hope you're hungry.
Yeah.
If not, I'm eating for like a couple weeks.
Yeah,
straight.
there you go.
So should be fun.
That's awesome. Do you also for here though, for Whittier, do you have any new ones on tap?
I mean, since the last time we talked, there's Ella Good, which is a dry hop Pilsner with Ella hops.
Oh, I tried that on Friday.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Nice and smooth, pretty even keel there. In the tank, we have, always have another hazy. Just put Royal Velvet right back on. And then what's kind of fermenting or finishing up right now, hopefully maybe in a couple weeks or maybe less than that, week and a half or so, will be a mango pineapple wheat.
Okay.
Summertime, easy fruit flavored drinking spritzy kind of a thing. Wheat beer. So that's that. And after that, a raspberry sour is in the works. And then probably right back to Greenleaf IPA, and Painted Black, and Color of Your Energy, and
nice
Friendly Pills, and then Friendly Pills and Friendly Pills.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
Oh yeah, Greenleaf is my go-to.
Yeah, I know. I'm still playing with the bittering on that, and I thought I was getting it.
Yeah,
and then still not what I want. Like it got a little sweet.
Okay,
and because I used other hops instead of that nice clean bittering, and I was just like, oh man.
Yeah.
So, but I make it all the time, so it's an easy thing to tweak and play with. But I do dig that IPA. Classic.
Oh yeah.
Classic kind of thing. Warrior Sun Go Citra. You can't go wrong.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Well, you can, but
yeah.
Knock on wood. Hopefully we don't.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you too. So like because I know Abraham, you guys kind of play off each other quite a bit. Like you guys are always, giving each other shit. So what were those brew days like?
Well, they were early in the morning, so I don't think any of us were really on our A game for that. Yeah. But there were some stuff because Abraham had his social media guy with him to do all the videos that you saw that I posted, we all posted about. And we were kidding around when we brewed we can. It was, canning at Breweria. Me and Adrian were just sitting there and he's like, watch. Abraham's going to be all done up.
Yeah.
And hair was nice.
Of course.
Looked like you just trimmed the beard.
Yeah.
Got a nice night's rest, sort of, but he looked all nice, and we were just sitting there like brewer pants and sweaty t-shirt, and we're like, all right, it's good for the camera. There you go.
Oh yeah,
I like it. Yeah. So
Abraham's got to be camera ready.
I mean, it was pretty funny, but yeah, it's the regular bullshit talk that we all do.
That's
fun. I mean, the collaboration is really just to get together.
Yeah.
We do have plans to kind of keep this going, and we want to make it, more community focused and helpful and stuff like that. And so we're talking about like doing another one for like a Thanksgiving Christmas release.
Okay. Like almost like a seasonal kind of release.
Yeah. Something like that. And, if it's the time of the year that, everybody's in that giving mood and stuff like that, we want to think, we have some thoughts about like how we can give back a little bit with that beer. So stay tuned.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I mean, because that's you mentioned it earlier, one of the best parts of, one of my favorite parts of all you guys is like, you go down Whittier, like you can start Montebello, and go to Angry Horse, and then you can drive like literally 3 minutes to go to Whittier for a little bit.
Uber or Lyft.
Uber or Lyft. Better. I mean, maybe just have like one beer at each spot. I mean, as long as you're okay. We don't condone drinking and driving on the Taproom Podcast.
Nope.
But go in there, and then you can come down to, hit up La Bodega off of Comstock, and then you can come over to Whittier.
Yeah. And at Whittier Brewing Company. Or go the other way around. Doesn't matter.
No, it's great. I mean, and that's, being able to talk to, all four of you that I've had, I said use guys, like I'm a 50s gangster or something. Being able to talk to all you guys and, get to know, I'll get to know you guys, and also you can see the passion, obviously, behind every brewery, like how much you all care. Not just about, it's about the beer, but it's about the community.
Some of it is fear.
Yeah.
I mean, you work hard because you're like afraid to go back to a normal 9 to 5. I'm like, no, I want to work my 18-hour days, 8 days a week. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave up my 40-hour work week for a 65-hour work.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's the best.
It's so great.
Yeah. It was honestly really fun here last Friday when we got to talk for a bit because I was, we had some pizza, we had some wings, and obviously a bunch of beers, but then there was live music out back, so it was awesome.
Summertime here, yeah, and you've seen what I'm doing out there with the little more work and that outdoor service station. Is like, I mean, this was the plan when we first opened, was to have all this stuff going on, like really quick, and finally getting around to it. But yeah, no, it's exciting times here, and the same with all the other guys. I mean, I know they're all have plans for upgrading and doing more at each space, and I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Keep it going, because I think that's only going to create a little corridor here along Whittier Boulevard.
Yeah,
that who knows, maybe other breweries will want to be on that, and we'll be like, yeah, come on in
for sure.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So,
love it.
Because I know the rumor at the Groves. I mean, there's a sign that says brewery.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Don't know. Nobody knows. I've heard at least 5 or 6 different breweries that are going to be there, and I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, my cousins that's with us, or sitting here with us right now, her dad, my uncle, he's been talking about that place. He's like, he drives past it like once a week to see if there's anything different.
Oh, I've done that a couple times. That's where I shop at the Stater Brothers. And you always just kind of any silver tanks in there? No, no, I mean, I can see where a brewery might. It looks like one. I think that's where it's going to be, but I don't know.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how like acceptable breweries are now compared to like, way back when?
I think they've always been pretty acceptable. I mean, because, the magic of a brewery is that if you have one here and you have one 3 blocks away, you're actually drawing for both. So just to have one, you're cool, but having like Bodega over there and Breweria over there and whatever's in Orange County, or I know, is it Feathered Serpent up in La Puente, I think is going to open soon.
Oh, yeah.
That is a draw for me.
Yeah.
Just like I'm going to be a draw for them, because you're getting more educated, more beer drinkers coming here. They're going to go to each place and try it. Maybe not in the same day, but they'll go next weekend or something like that. So it's...
Yeah, because you could just Google like, what are other breweries are nearby, and then boom.
And it is different that, breweries are known to do these collaborations. You don't really see that in other industries. A little bit in restaurants, kind of. You'll see some stuff, but not where we seek it out.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's even like, when it comes to just like, alcohol, like, you're never going to see a collaboration with hard liquor, or you're not going to see one in the wine industry or anything
Buzzball
like that.
and whatever, Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that. Yeah. That's a corporate different thing. This is me. That's Abraham over there. That's Adrian Augie over there. And that's Nathan over there. That's who it is.
Yeah.
There's no front of corporateness entity stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's the best part about this industry. It's like you support one, you support all.
Yeah.
And, as long as, they continue to grow and things keep going, that's, it's all that matters.
Yeah. And everybody is, that we all had this conversation. It's like, so how was the last weekend? And everything generally is like, pretty good.
Yeah.
Like nobody's like, we were like hurt and struggling. I'm like, you don't hear that.
Yeah.
And I know no one's going to give you exact truth, but as long as I think the words I hear and how I feel here, everything's going like on an uptick. And I think people are coming out and weather's nice.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's, we're going to, I think it's, this little corridor that we have is going to continue to grow.
Oh yeah.
As we go in the next 5 years, 10 years. And hopefully 20.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood a lot there.
It's all good.
So, yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, definitely guys, like, come out and support. It's an awesome collaboration. It's like most times you see 2 breweries collab.
It's true.
This one, there's 4. So, and they're all really, really great people. Really great breweries, and they care so much about their craft. La Bodega, Angry Horse, Brujeria, Whittier, they're, just go and support, family business, small business, and support local, drink local, do all that good stuff. The Highway 72 series, I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And I
know we're all proud of it. We think it's a fun thing to do, and
definitely.
we all want to keep it going. So you'll see more and more of this throughout the years.
Yeah, and you
sure.
should definitely come out and support. And you guys killed it on this one. You can taste the passion in it. So
Thank you.
of course. So hey, and if you're in the area, coming on down to maybe get brunch at La Bodega, come over and have some pizza for lunch over at Whittier. And definitely don't forget about obviously Angry Horse and Brujeria. Great people. Augie, I've never met Adrian, but I've talked to Augie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice guy.
I mean, they're brothers. I mean, they're almost the same person. So they're great. They're really nice guys.
For sure. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. Let me come down and try a beer. I'm glad we got to do it.
For sure.
This will, if anybody wants to come down, it's off of, or come down to Whittier. It's off of Philadelphia and Greenleaf.
Mm-hmm. The old Bank of America building. Can't miss. The only 6-story building in Uptown. It's hard to miss.
Oh, yeah. It's where I got my savings bonds as a kid. All right. Well, thanks again, John. I appreciate it.
You bet, man. Of course. Cheers.
Cheers, Tap Fam.
All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it was really fun. Honestly, this was just a really fun episode for me in total, like in all together, obviously with Beer Belly Pod and John coming back on and us talking about the Highway 72 collab. So, I mean, this is about 2 hours and maybe 15 minutes. I don't know, somewhere around there. But I feel like I haven't had a long one in a while, so this will be nice. I hope you guys all enjoy it. Next week is probably the episode people have been waiting for with Hannah Renard over at Last Name. We had such a fun conversation, and she might do a little recording for something on the outro. We'll see. All right. Well, Tap Fam, I got to get out there. Got to drink some more beer, not because I want to, but because I have to for you guys. Think about it. All right. Cheers, Tap Fam. Everybody take care. And also, one more time, happy birthday to my sister. Love you, Kai. Cheers, Tap Fam. And if you're gambling, take the over, brother. I was going to say fuckers. I don't know why I did that. Either way, take the over.